Right.
If you will.
Yeah. Pummel that like button into a fine mist and then smear it across your face.
That's war paint?
Yeah.
Just destroy that subscribe button. Just get rid of it. Just
Take that like button. Take that like button out back. Put a bullet in its head.
Between its baby blues.
Right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
And put it out on the porch of the subscribe button to let it know that you're coming for it.
Yeah. As a warning that you're heading for the subscribe button and you're bringing hell with you.
Smack the queen into the jaw as a symbol.
Exactly.
Are we live yet?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
In this scenario, are we assuming that every single subscribe/like button is an independent entity, or are they all part of some hive mind, or are they all one thing and just taking one of them and shooting them out back? It's going to actually destroy the infrastructure of YouTube and or like Facebook
You mean
or whatever.
social media promotion buttons?
Yeah.
Are they?
Are they one thing?
No. That's why you have to list them all separately.
They all
Yeah.
exist.
Like Peter, Paul. You name the apostles.
Yeah.
Right.
The Forerunners of the
Twitter,
Apocalypse.
Facebook,
Yeah.
The
YouTube.
Forerunners of the Apocalypse.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You missed
Snapchat.
Insta.
Crafting, survival.
Right.
Open world. Early access.
Yeah.
4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Right.
Yeah.
Beta.
Graphics of Skyrim. Gameplay of Assassin's Creed.
Hey folks, welcome to Twitch Your Own Adventure.
We make subtle digs at things that are more successful than us.
Yes, that's how you grow strong. In
It's
this
always
industry.
punching up if you're at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Well,
it's punching down when you're
keep-
literally the last rung.
Keep an eye out for our diss track coming in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We're taking shots at literally everyone.
Everyone.
Whole time.
Yeah.
We're taking shots at ourselves.
Well, but not at Pusha T, though. That guy's scary.
yeah.
He's
No.
really good at dissing people.
Yeah. we're not gonna-
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the name of the diss track is going to be called "Who Are You? Fuck You."
It's gonna be "Who Are You? Fuck You," featuring Pusha T.
Yeah.
Of course, naturally.
That's the only way we're safe.
In honor of.
With respect to.
Yeah. Alrighty. Like I said, welcome to Twitch Your Own Adventure. My name is Tyler. I'm the host and GM. We're coming to you live from Rook and Rogue Board Game Pub here in Bellingham, Washington. I'm joined this week, as in every week, by my good friend Melanie Strickland.
Melanie.
How you doing, Melanie?
Pretty well.
Good.
I had a weird day.
Well, now you're here to have an even
Got a
weirder day.
soldering iron today.
Nice.
That's the end of that story.
Nice. That's a good story. It's a very good story.
For me, it is.
Moving on, Charlie. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing good. Had a work day. It's been a busy week.
Yeah,
I am glad that I am not at work,
that's good.
and that's a good
It's always
thing.
nice to not be at work. I am technically at the place I work at, but I'm
This
not,
guy.
on the clock.
Are you telling me this is paid promotional material?
No, because I'm not being paid.
Oh,
Yeah. In fact,
it's
I'm
right there, dude.
Yeah,
I'm paying them to be here in a
Oh.
way. At a discount, but
but
hey,
like we're yeah.
Still
money.
One Direction.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the band.
Yeah.
If we were One Direction, we'd be making a lot more money.
That's actually.
No, we wouldn't be because they've broken up now.
But if we were
Yeah,
One
we
Direction,
would still get those residuals.
that
Mel.
Wait,
the
if
residual
they're broken up, then
royalties.
we can be One Direction.
So-
It's up for grabs.
yeah,
Hi guys,
games
welcome
up
to
for
One
grabs.
Direction, a new stream coming to you live from Rook and Rogue Board Game
Oh,
Pub.
Harry Styles.
We're all Harry Styles.
I want
on
to
this
be
blessed
Zayn.
day.
I'm Joe Jonas. Wait,
No,
that's
I
Jonas
want to be
Brothers.
Hold on.
Louis.
What are the? Sorry, this joke requires.
I'm
me
Taylor
to
Hanson.
have- Yeah.
I don't know nearly
This
enough
is
about
Isaac and Zach.
Harry,
One Direction.
Zayn,
Zach, Cody.
Louis,
Mm-hmm.
the other
Corey
one.
in the house.
Right.
So Tyler, who's the other dude here? Who's extra?
Raven.
We all know who this is. This is
Hey, you know me.
This is basically our
In-house
Like the Tina Fey of
groundskeeper
this.
yeah,
And
No,
resident
wait,
Irishman.
sorry, the
Michael
Steve Martin
Buchanan.
of this.
the Steve Martin of our stream.
Steve Martin to my Chevy Chase.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. That
I'll
is
take it.
exactly
I'll
what's
You
take
guys
going
are
it.
on.
like a lot
We're
closer
joined
than
by
I
Michael.
thought.
How you doing, Michael?
Hey there. Hi. Since we're talking about work stuff, I found out that our boiler hasn't been maintained in 5 years, and now it's my responsibility to maintain the boiler. So I'm really hoping that this whole writing RPGs things works out because
Fingers
You know, is he the boiler keeper?
I
Come
do
on.
not.
That sounds like an Alice in Wonderland villain.
So
Yeah.
Tyler, today you
Seems like
don another hat,
a boss
and
monster.
Michael, you as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've done.
Oh,
that
should I
before
be
the
putting
stream.
on the?
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Hey.
Michael is
Oh,
now a member of the
Mariners.
Mariners.
Wow.
Hey, everyone,
He got
um,
in.
It turns out they need pitching so bad that they'll take anyone.
Yep. It's so crazy.
I'm sure that joke was savage and absolutely just punching.
Hey, listen, the people who watch this stream and are also fans of the Seattle Mariners thought that was great.
Yeah,
I
that
think-
Venn
All
I was gonna say,
me.
I-
It's me.
It's
It's
Mike.
only
I was gonna say,
me.
I think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What are we playing?
Yeah, we're playing a game
we get to
that
play?
is yeah, you guys get to play
Do we play?
a role-playing game.
Do we have class outside today?
No, because that's not.
Oh, let's put it to a vote.
Yeah.
This is America, right?
All right, yeah. Why don't you guys vote? Who wants to have the class outside today? Raise your hand.
There's
Raise your hand.
We socially pressured you. You're gonna feel like a fool. You
Who
either
doesn't
don't
wanna
back
have
your
class
ideas up.
outside today? Raise your hand. All right, so there's one.
I still have
What?
my
Oh,
ideas.
what?
Yes.
I don't know what.
Abstain.
This works great.
This is okay. Well, I'm glad we can start this stream
What are
off
we
with a
playing
nice
today?
bullying
I was
of
too small to
Melanie.
be a bully in school, so
So now you have
I'm
to- you
catching
have
up
to
for
get
lost
it in.
time.
You got to get it in now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're playing. That's an excellent question, Melanie. I'm sorry we bullied you there.
I got bullied.
I've been bullied.
Been
I
bullied.
do not like it.
This is an anti-bullying PSA. I
It's
hope you
not.
guys- No, it's not. So yeah, we're playing a game of Michael and my own design.
Michael Romance.
Yeah, Michael Romance.
Michael
Okay.
Let us get through the title of the fucking game.
So yeah, Michael and I have been working on this game for quite some time now. It's now in some semblance of a working order.
It's got numbers.
Call it like an alpha stage?
Yeah, pre-alpha.
Yeah.
Early
Early
access.
access.
Why would you want to downgrade it to a beta?
Uh,
The alpha's like the best, right? Like
yeah,
that's the top.
exactly. Yeah, why would you want to be anything other than the alpha?
Yeah.
No.
That's why games stay in alpha access for so
Forever,
Yes,
because
they're
they don't
just
want to
like
be.
that.
don't wanna
Nobody
be
ever
betas.
plays nice games.
Yeah, nice games finish last. You know.
That's true. That's really true.
Why do ladies always go for the jerk alpha games and not a?
Why are ladies really into Rust .001?
Yeah.
And the name of this game is.
So we have a working title right now.
Heroes
It's
and
called-
Halfwits.
Yeah, Heroes and Halfwits. No, it's called Greasers and Ghoulies.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Greasers and
evocative.
Ghoulies.
Greasers and Ghoulies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Greasers
Going
and
for a
Ghoulies.
very traditionalist approach,
Thing
something
in the
that really
thing.
calls back to the early days, an alliterative thing and other thing title.
We'll probably be changing the title.
No, that's a good title.
We will not be changing
is
the
we?
title.
Why-
Based on
Are you writing this game?
Well, Melanie is on the production staff.
Yeah.
She
Oh.
helps take notes and pitch ideas.
I didn't know that I was playing a
Management.
company game.
Oh, yeah.
Publicity.
Don't worry, you'll be paid for all of this in company script, redeemable at our store afterwards.
Excellent.
Yeah, once the store goes.
You buy
Via
T-shirts.
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're
Am I-
actually
am I
gonna be using.
considered, would I be listed as talent? I mean, because you have to give me a job
Oh yeah,
classification.
of course.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, play tester.
No,
is,
best
is
boy.
the thing. That's the thing.
He's best boy.
Do you want to be a grip?
Key
How
grip.
many
Okay.
I'll take nothing less than Gaffer.
How
Fine.
many ICOs do you want on the initial coin offerings?
Is it-
How many
many-
fake
I was gonna
currencies?
say, how many IOUs is that?
Yeah, well, it's 1-to-1 pretty much.
Can we play a game?
I think we're playing a lot of
Perfectly good
games.
Bitcoin riff, ready to rock, to get nice and isolated.
I have notes on.
We're
Bitcoin.
not
Dig.
using Bitcoin. We're using Dogecoin.
That's a meme coin. I'm not doing that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna make
that's
fun of it. I'm gonna
that's
make
fake money.
I'm gonna make fun of the thing that it
Yeah,
actually
that's
tries.
the one that doesn't have money. I have nothing else
How
to
is
say.
Bitcoin doing right now? Does anyone know?
Could we get the stats on Bitcoin,
Wrong
please?
people to ask.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna get rid of my Paula Deen Paladin.
Yeah,
Okay.
could you check the Bitcoin prices for me? It's my Bitcoin guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's sit.
So how and what is the
okay.
whatever,
Yeah,
if
so
you will?
the Dogecoin price currently
Oh.
is
Oh my God.
Shit.
Not what we're
God damn
talking
it.
about.
Fuck.
0.003 cents.
Welcome to the econo.
Actually, sorry, $0.003.
Wow,
sorry.
it's spiking.
Yeah, it's going up as I speak. All right, yeah. So we're playing Greasers and Ghoulies.
Okay, what's the setup?
The setup. Yes.
Yeah.
So it is
Enrapture me and
post
storytelling.
World War II, 1950s esque universe. It's a different take on America. It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with changing the history of that particular time period.
Yeah.
To be better.
It's a universe where instead of the real world sad bad things happening, all the bad things taking place are
Fun.
Well, are taking,
Externalized?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
it's being caused by this entity, this dark, evil entity called the Grease. And the Grease exists at night. It exists in the deepest, darkest recesses
Of your heart.
Yep.
of society, of humanity, and it tries to corrupt and consume all. And you will be playing characters known as greasers, those who have stared into the grease and came back relatively sane,
So
able to comprehend
'cause
it.
it's like Ghostbusters.
Sure.
You know, in a
Yeah.
way, like it's like not technically incorrect, but it's still it's a
Excellent. I'm
vast,
glad that this is entirely right.
vast
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
simplification of it. But yeah, it's good enough.
I hope he plays the entire game thinking it's supposed to be Ghostbusters.
When there's something greasy.
Who is everybody playing?
in your greasy hood. Yeah. So, we'll get to introductions of the characters in just a second. I'm gonna do an intro paragraph, the opening crawl,
Yeah.
if you will. Give us a little bit of a primer as to what we're doing and where we are. Welcome to Goldbrook, Indiana. This quiet Midwest town saw a meteoric rise out of the Great Depression during World War II with its munitions factory, bringing prominence and wealth to the sleepy hamlet. Thanks to the factory, the town got its own supermarket and roller rink and outdoor theater, all situated a stone's throw from Goldbrook's very new suburb. It's been a few years since the town's glory days, however, and with the factory closing after the war, things have slowed here to almost a stop. Many people still hold tight to the memories of Goldbrook as a boom town, but there's no denying that things here are on a downswing. However, there's more going on in Goldbrook than one might think. Strange things have begun happening in the small town. Slowly at first, almost imperceptibly so. Animal bones picked clean on the side of the road, the night sky looking a sight darker than usual, and folks just acting weird around each other. Any old square would chalk it all up to a dying town, but you ain't no square.
No.
No, and
Nah.
neither are the reporters of the automotive journal, the Weekly Wheel and Deal. So, one reporter of said automotive journal, someone by the name of Robert Slate, wrote a short editorial in the back of the Weekly Wheel and Deal, highlighting the town's peculiarities. You are greasers, hunters of the dark and malicious entity known by your kind as the Grease. While squares, normal 9-to-5 folks, are not privy to the horrors that lurk in the deepest night, the knowledge of the Grease has been laid bare to you, and you can withstand its knowledge and power for the time being. Having read the article showcasing Goldbrook's strange happenings, your gang decided it would be the perfect place to cut your greaser teeth. It's midday when you pull off the highway and onto Goldbrook's main drag. So, let's take this opportunity to introduce yourselves, your character, your general, idea, and also what kind of vehicle you drive. Melanie, do you want to start?
I will be Rose. She is a, what are they called? Oh my god, what are they called?
Trucker.
I'm a trucker. My truck is named Thorns. And my specialty is thinking. I fix things. I'm a mechanic. Closer to the grease than other people are because of the greasy aspects of mechanizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fixing shit. Gotta get your hands a little bit greasy. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm just a working gal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of you're a bit of a you're
Tougher shoelace.
yeah, and you also got some healing to you. You
Oh, I can heal people.
you know how to get your hands dirty, both healing people and fixing cars.
Yeah.
I can get
They're not
blood
that different on
and
the
grease
inside. Just
on my
squish your-
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you very much. Moving on, Charlie.
I'll be playing the character of Alice the Mac McGillicuddy.
All right.
I have a chopper named the Mad Hatter. I'm a.
Oh. Nice.
Do you?
No, continue, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, I prefer a faster, stealthier, quieter approach. I'm a survivor. The best way to survive is to not be seen.
All right.
So I drive a very loud motorcycle.
Yes.
Didn't say I was smart.
No, I mean you do have a spell, a grease spell that allows you to quiet your engine. You'll notice at the bottom of your character sheet.
Yes.
Says
Oh,
whisper.
whisper quiet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
there it
cool.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're more of a whereas Melanie's more of like a healer, like a cleric character. You're much more of a roguish type, I would say.
Yeah.
It's kind of that distinction.
Not like we're actually in this fantasy world of the place with the dragons and the dungeons, but
Right. No. This is 1950s esque
Yeah.
Americana, rockabilly.
Easy
Lana
Rider.
Del Rey shit.
No,
I mean, kinda in a way, but
I don't listen to Lana Del Rey.
more of like a meatloaf kind of situation we got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on, we got Michael. Michael, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character?
Hey there. I'm going to be playing the first character we ever made for this game, Donnie. Donnie's a hot rodder. He's a tough guy. He's a bit of a knuckle duster. Him and his
Bagger more like.
Oh.
That's my
Why
80s
you
delivery of a
gotta?
50s line.
yeah. Him and his ride Bad Girl are there to put some hurt onto the Ghoulies and just make sure that they get down and don't get back up.
His car is called Bad Girl.
Yeah.
His car is called
Why
Bad
didn't you
Girl.
just give her a bad girl name like Stella
No, because Donnie's not that smart.
or
Yeah.
Lenny?
So Lenny, yeah. Bad
No,
girl
because
named Lenny.
she's
Tyler.
like the bad girl. She's all of them.
Yeah.
She's like the archetype of it.
The archetype of a bad girl is a car.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay.
She's a woman who never talks back and also gets you where you need to wait.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. So anyway, yeah, you guys have just driven off the highway, taken the off ramp into
You
Goldbrook,
just
Indiana,
cut off the highway, like we're just like later and just.
off into the side of the road. Yeah, you're now in Goldbrook, Indiana. You see, you're in a yes, Melon.
My truck, is it like a 18-wheeler? Is it like a truck?
No, it's like a Ford. It's like a
Oh.
Ford F-150.
Oh.
Like a
Yeah, no, it's like a pickup truck,
Got it.
like
Oh, I'm
one of
like
those
a
old
proper full
50s, like 40s, 50s. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
You're a
so it's-
mechanic.
I'm
This'll be-
Melanie.
Yeah, this will be.
Yeah.
I'm me, except for
Yeah.
with the carry-in properties of an RPG game.
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It'll be more
Carrion
apparent
always
when
plays a
there are
hero.
visual cues to it. So you
Yeah.
see, you three are going to be playing the three classes, the three main
Wiseman.
classes of the game.
Yeah.
We have the hot rodder, drives the hot rod, the grease lightning, all that good stuff. Then
Yeah.
we have the chopper, drives motorcycle, the rebel without a cause, that kind of ish.
And without claws. I keep my nails cut very short.
Yeah.
And then we have the trucker, the driving those old classic 50s pickups.
They're all like bulbous and round.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
represent the future.
Yeah. And the 1950s
1950s vision of the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every car's a screaming metal death trap.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Detroit
afraid.
Steel.
It should be.
Each car weighed 6 tons.
Let's begin the story.
What?
Let's begin the story.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you are in Goldbrook, Indiana. You've just driven off onto the main arterial road. It's midday. You can see that the town itself is pretty quiet. There's not a lot of people walking around downtown. You see that there's laid out in front of you. You see there's a diner down the street on one of the corners. You can see that there's further down. You see that what looks to be a mechanic shop, as well as the city hall, which is a big brick building, big austere brick building, as well as you see signs pointing off. Take a left. There's it goes off to the Goldbrook suburbs, and then there's to the right. There's the roller rink, things like that. Signs pointing to the various things in town.
There's signs for everything.
The attractions.
I find that endearing.
They want to
There's
showcase.
not a lot of things.
Yeah,
I think it's.
they
Yeah.
want to showcase their assets, their best. Yeah. You can see actually there's a hill off in the distance, and on that hill you see there is a large boxy looking factory of some kind. Doesn't seem to be. Doesn't seem to have anybody in it, though. It looks quiet. Doesn't seem to be.
Perfect.
Working.
I like take off my gloves.
Sure. Yeah.
I like,
Okay.
Take off your gloves and you rub your hands together, and you point. Where'd you point?
Nobody notices
factory
you're
at the
actually,
factory.
you're actually in the back of the line of the people, so it's kind of like you just start
Why
pointing.
was I with the last one?
Because you're in a big truck.
Makes
This car goes
sense.
fast.
Yeah.
Motorcycle's fast.
There's
Truck's
Yeah.
slow.
Truck's probably fast enough.
That worked out really well.
Yeah.
Is
All right.
Is this another done?
Yeah, so you can drink some. Let's.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you three like to
Oh,
do?
okay. Well, I feel like we've been called in to degrease the city.
Well, you read an article in the back of an automotive journal,
Ooh.
Yeah.
which is
A natural place for
It's how we communicate with each other.
yeah. You actually it was next to next to a misconnections to another
misconnections
greaser.
in copy
Yeah.
copies of Car and Driver
Yeah.
at the tail end of a Top Gear episode.
Pretty much.
Cool.
You see that there was the little editorial you read about Goldbrook, Indiana, was between a misconnection for a greaser in South Dakota looking for a dame built like and driving a shiny new truck, and an ad for a new muffler as well. Things like that, you know.
Yeah.
Things
It
that
was
pertain-
used, but like new.
Yes,
What?
The muffler.
Oh.
Yeah.
for a like new muffler. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said like a canoe, and I was very confused.
Why would it be a singular new
Fucking
muffler?
no.
Right.
What?
You're good.
Why am I? What's so
Give it
funny?
a
You can purchase
Anyway,
singular mufflers.
yeah, you absolutely can. Why would you buy them in multiple?
I don't know why
You
would
only
you
need one. Literally ever.
I love clashing with Melanie's knowledge of things. In our
Like, you just buy one
RPGs.
muffler on its own. It's like, yeah, if you need a muffler, you buy a muffler.
Yeah, I'm in the grocery selling. Like we got one
buys
muffler.
Wait, there's only one for
We
sale.
made like one muffler, a really good muffler.
We're gonna publish this in the back of an automotive journal in order to get this
Really
sold.
get
Oh,
this
God.
sold.
So
Yeah.
maybe
We
selling
really
the back
need
of
this
the
muffler
penny
sold.
saver.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, we're here at Goldbrook to find ghoulies.
You
know, creatures
we
of
go and visit
grease.
the factory.
Take a peek over at the factory right off the
I mean,
bat.
is there a person we're supposed to... Is the town abandoned?
No, there's
In my head,
people-
it's actually abandoned.
There's people in the town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We
it's just
should go
like
talk to the mayor?
if you want to try.
I'm going
I think
to
the mayor's
factory.
going to listen to a bunch of punk kids like us.
I'm going to the factory if anybody
37.
wants to come with me. I'm walking towards
I don't think that you are, no.
Doesn't say that in your character sheet. I'm
Doesn't
pretty
have an age,
sure.
actually.
You're right.
So I'm 37.
I'm
Alistair
walking
Mac McGillicuddy.
towards the factory.
You're walking towards
Yeah.
the.
It's not very far.
Walking.
It's up the hill in the distance.
I speed past on my
I
motorcycle.
get in my truck and
Yeah.
I drive to the
Drive
factory.
to the factory.
Like,
I'm going to drive everywhere.
Get out of your car and start walking.
I
Yeah,
do
you-
my little like.
You
Yeah.
drive, yeah. You guys drive up the main drag, heading towards the factory. You see people. You drive past the diner. It says Mauve's Diner.
Say that again.
Mauve.
Mauve's
Like the
Diner.
color?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mauve.
Mouse.
purple.
Mauve's Diner.
Like off purple.
Mauve.
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 Yes. You can see people reading their newspapers, drinking some coffee, eating some food.
Newspapers.
You see people turn their heads as you guys drive past because your engines are pretty loud.
Yeah.
You're driving some souped up
Blasting
vehicles.
the music that just is the bass.
Wearing
riff.
leather
I
jackets.
wave like I'm a sweet little angel and I rev my engine.
Mine's just the musical vamp from the Dodge commercial where it goes ba-doom, 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 ba-doom.
Yeah.
Grab life by the horns.
Oh,
And that
you
just
mean
plays on repeat.
that vamp is
Mr.
also
Horn, Mr.
on
Horn.
the trains at the Denver airport.
Really?
When you get off of the thing, it goes. "Ba-ding, ding,
Is
The
that, you sure
train
it's
is
not
now
the
stopped.
Missing a note,
Seinfeld
but-
slap bass?
Weird.
No, it's not. It's like a guitar.
Well, I'm at the airport.
So yeah, you guys you're turning heads. All the squares watch you as you drive past. In terms of greaser lingo, a square is someone. It's just a regular
A
normal-
normie.
a normie,
Yeah.
Who's not in
exactly.
touch with the grease.
Someone doesn't know about the grease. You couldn't comprehend the grease without
Yeah.
their minds going all bad.
A normie, yeah. We already said
Yeah.
normie, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Succinct. That works. Yeah. So you drive past. You see people looking at you. You drive. Let me see. Yeah, you drive past the mechanic shop, you see a couple of guys wearing jumpsuits, working on cars, one specific car. One man he looks a little bit older than the rest. Got a little bit of salt and pepper in his hair. He's rubbing his hands with a towel, getting the grease off. He looks at the three of you, looks, and he kind of gives a nod to you guys as you drive by.
All right, we know where to return to when we die.
Yeah. This guy can help us out.
Exactly.
Should we talk to him
If you want.
beforehand?
If
Maybe
you
get
guys
intel? Or we can just charge into the factory and...
It's up to you.
It's
I look
Hey.
at him and I like do one of those like.
Can I who's at the front?
I will not be getting.
Probably me or you.
All right, if you're at the
Probably
front.
the motorcycle. For
If you're
safety-
scouting
for
ahead,
visibility.
yeah,
that
yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense. Okay, cool. I peel off toward the mechanic.
Yeah.
All right,
And
And
follow.
I'll wave the crew.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just gonna follow. I'm not the smart guy.
Yeah. Not the man with the plan.
Yeah.
I don't want to
The man
punch
with the
anything over there, but I could find a way.
action. I can figure something out. Yeah, you pull off onto the into the driveway area of the mechanic shop.
Driveway area.
Like because the mechanic shop has a big front
Yeah.
space where all the cars can
Open.
be.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
work? You're a
The
mechanic.
bay.
How do you not-
Right, it's a bay.
It's a
Yeah.
bay, yeah.
and,
yeah.
well,
Car bay.
carport.
I don't know.
Pull.
We know
Talk to
very.
the guy.
Until
We know very little about
Hey,
cars
we're
for writing an
noticing that
RPG.
you're,
Very much about cars.
The next part about the
Alright.
RPG part, we haven't actually gone over the car part
So
of the RPG.
the
so bear with
factory
us.
over
Yeah.
there,
We'll figure that
the weapon.
Whoa! Slow down, slow down.
I would
there,
like to be
Missy.
I'm gonna go. We want to check it out. We think something fishy's going on.
All right. First off, we don't really talk to no ones without introducing ourselves.
For
first.
Yeah.
the entire state of New York.
Sorry. Sorry.
Welcome to Goldbrook, Indiana. We all sound like we're from Brooklyn.
So, I
pocket
was
community.
just wondering if I could go into your factory.
You don't have to be from where I'm from.
We're from Wisconsin for that.
Why
matter.
are you?
You can be from wherever you want.
So I'm just doing the Grease accent that I know from the Grease
the
Grease
movies.
movies.
I mean-
from the Grease movies.
It's
yeah.
unclear.
It's
And the
figure it
other
out.
voice I know from those are this one. So I'm going with the normal
The
one.
Yeah, yeah,
Glenn
yeah.
female compatriot voice.
Yeah, I'm okay with you doing with the.
Why are you always
I think we should
trying
go more
to
of a-
leave me? I don't know.
I think we're gonna learn go more of a crybaby angle instead of Grease.
Would love
Actually,
that.
no.
Yeah.
You have not seen it yet.
Crybaby.
We'll get you.
It literally every movie about greasers, not on Netflix, not on Hulu, not on Amazon, on everything you want to watch. It's
Not
got
on
greasers in it.
Amazon.
It's like $3 to rent.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Crybaby is the
It's
one
an
by John
untapped
Waters.
market.
Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Yeah, with Johnny Depp
It's
in
the
it.
one.
Yeah.
It's the John Waters movie that's the most a movie.
It
Yeah.
is
The most approachable, normal.
It is a movie.
It
Yes.
Yeah.
With a
basically
beginning, middle, and end.
the beginning of Jersey Boys,
And periodic acting. Like, just
but
Yeah.
then
happens
the
sometimes.
end of it is like just a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure. Anyway,
Anyway,
so what brings you three to my small town here?
It's
We want to go to
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a helmet. It just
smacks your head back. Yeah.
I feel like I already told you while we're here. We want to go check out your factory over there. We think something fishy's going on. We don't like the
we
peas and carrots.
saw
of it.
an ad in the back of Motor Sport and Driver Daily.
Wheeling and dealing weekly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The weekly wheel and deal. That's actually
Yeah,
what it's
the
called.
weekly wheeling deal. Got it.
Yeah.
And the old WWD
Of course.
I'm fidgeting with like
saying that there
the.
was some disturbing circumstances perchance happening upon this
see.
region.
I understand.
Is that
yeah.
true?
I'm like I'm
talking about-
menacingly like fidgeting with like the adjuster on my wrench,
Oh yeah, the spinny thing.
the spinny guy
Yeah.
with the grippies on it.
Yeah.
Not menacingly, but I'm like
Just kind of.
this is who
a
I
ratchet.
am. Is it a rat? It's like the
What do you mean?
the,
The part
the
that
thing
makes
that
you go
adjusts
in
the.
and- in
Is that
and
a
out?
ratchet?
Yeah.
No, the ratchet's.
No, that's not a ratchet.
ratchet.
That's a
wrench.
ratchet. Yeah, no.
Hers is like a
it's
big
not
old monkey
It's a
wrench.
big
kinda.
wrench.
Oh, it's literally.
It's
the
like a
thing
hit and
that-
wrench.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
weapon wrench.
Oh.
It's a fighting.
It's a
Hold my
wench.
wrench.
It's a
Yeah.
war wrench.
Its name is wench.
Or wrench. Its name is Wench.
Its name is wench.
Wench.
It's a
Wench.
weapon.
Yeah.
Wench.
Wench the wrench. Oh, that's not confusing. Yeah. So he says, yeah, the name's the
Take
name.
out my butterfly knife. Chain.
Yeah, everybody take out your weapons and show them to this man.
You guys are writing this.
no.
I appreciate.
Tell us so we can help you.
Yeah. see like 6 like big ass mechanic aids guy just coming, with chains and various like
Implements.
tire irons. Yeah.
There's literally just one guy with 3 bottles on his fingers, and he just clinks menacingly.
Yep.
His castanets.
Asking people to come out and play.
Hey, so we want to go check out your
So, yeah.
factory.
The name's Vinny. I run the.
I didn't ask.
This here I gave it to you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell it to you anyway, and I can't take it back.
None of us gave him.
Somebody hit me in the head, so I forget it.
Can
I'm a
easily
greaser of
oblige,
principle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I run this here mechanicry. Mechanicry
Got it.
Emporium. You must have read the article written by that reporter guy, that Slate fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
A goddamn hero.
he's quite the type of person, even amongst peoples like us, if you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, I catch
You
your
think
drift.
you're like me?
I mean, like, we're all a little greasy.
Like,
aren't we?
It's okay. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it. Let me at him.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm a Scot. So,
A scoit, you say?
yeah, I'm a girl.
Oh, you're a skirt. Got it. All right. I'm just confused.
Well,
I was like, what's
I
a scoop?
assume that two-thirds of your group were Danes. I mean, the only
Yeah.
man.
Did you just assume his gender?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he's wearing leather jacket. He's got
We're writing a more progressive version of the 1950s that has like a lot of hang-ups on gender.
It's very specific.
Yes, yeah.
I'm wearing a leather jacket. It's a bomber.
It's
Yeah.
It's a bomber.
And it's made out of silk and it's pink. Why
would it be silk?
Because it's the only way I can think. I would like to go see a factory. Can we go see that now?
Oh, you talking about that old munitions factory hanging up
Oh,
on the hill?
munitions. That's what they do. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that
would like to go take a look at that.
That place used to be this town's money.
The munitions factory,
big old
yeah.
Money Mountain there over there.
You're in
So
the
they used to
war.
call it Big old Money Mountain. Now they don't call it that no more because there's no more money coming out of it on the counts of that it's closed.
Right.
So those trucks over there on that one
'Cause
side,
there's no
that was
more
just
war.
to truck out the money, right? Those were money trucks on the side over there with the big green green S's on them.
Yeah, well the bullets come out there.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm racking my brain really hard to try and connect Model United Nations and the word munitions, and they kind of work together. It's just like it's killing me. Don't come back to me. I just
Okay.
needed that to get out
Yeah.
there.
Thank you
Sorry.
for letting us.
Okay.
Process it out loud, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just get in my truck here. I'm getting in my truck. So I just go up the hill and I just kind of
hold on,
break
no,
a window.
there's
Okay,
a
okay,
reason-
okay.
There's okay. Well, all
You
right.
drew the line, I crossed it. Okay, what's up?
There's a reason that that me and my boys here haven't just gone up there and cleaned house in
Because
any
you're big
way.
cowards.
Is it because you're sissies?
Yeah, yellow belly
You guys
sissies.
coming into my town and calling me and my boys sissies?
I'm not calling. I'm
With
just
the little
asking. I'm
pink
just asking if you're
slippers kinda
sissies.
sissies.
Because you
Hey,
seem like
my
sissies.
little pink slippers are between me
I'll rub
and
no concern
are
to you.
None of your concern. That's for me and me's only. Anyway.
Well, I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
Is that show on yet?
1950.
It was in black and white. So
1960s.
never mind.
Why don't you just say it is?
I will.
We all watch I Love Lucy. We all watch it all the time on a
The
TV
only show.
Yeah.
It's actually how they. Yes, literally the only show.
Who
that's
shot
on.
JR? Wait.
Wait.
That's Dallas.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. There's
Which I Love Lucy and Lost.
We've
Okay.
been, we don't entirely know for sure what's up there in that their munitions factory.
Neither we.
However, we do know that something's stirring there. Something's going on in this town. We're trying to figure it out.
Something's rotten in Denmark.
Well, we're in Indiana. I don't know Denmark.
It's Denmark, Indiana.
Yeah,
It's a small
Goldbrook.
Yeah,
suburb.
Goldbrook.
Right.
Goldbrook, Indiana. Anyway, so you guys can goes up there. I'm just saying it's gonna be difficult.
Everything was plural in that sentence.
yes, it was.
Yeah.
You guys can go upstairs if you.
I do a Dukes of Hazzard like sliding over the top of my
Your truck?
truck.
Weren't you just like halfway into it already? Like you were
Yeah, I
Went
got
out
out.
and
I
then
got
you
out.
got
no,
out,
I-
then you went
I was
around
like,
the other
you
side.
when I
and then
said you
slid
drew the
over.
line and I crossed it, I walked
And you
around the
jumped,
side
like-
of the truck.
You jump like the 5 feet to get over there.
I'm a very strong
really tall.
woman.
Why don't I make you? Why don't we do a roll?
Hey, look at that. Okay.
So we can use the mechanics that these boys wrote.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
I feel like that. What is that? Schmoozin? That seems like schmoozin.
Can you
It's,
just
we
shut?
actually have skills.
Fight.
So Melanie, I'm gonna need you. Seems like an acrobatics check.
Is it? How do I do acrobatics?
So is acrobatics? That's not one of your career skills, is it? No, you have 3. So
I have
each of you
healing,
right now have 3 career skills.
Healing, willpower, and alertness.
Yes, and so each of those are governed by
What do you
2 of your attributes.
Self-deception even, okay.
So there's a main attribute and there's a sub attribute. When you roll a skill that you are, that it's your career skill, then you can just roll those 2 attributes, no problem.
Okay.
If you roll a skill that isn't a career skill, the secondary skill, you can only get up to half of the die value.
You didn't give us the skill,
I have a sheet.
What
Don't
there's-
worry about
You
it.
have a sheet.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
cool,
also-
cool.
I
So
also
we can
have-
refer to that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
so acrobatics is fighting for the primary and thinking for the secondary. So you would roll a d6 for your primary, a d8 for your secondary. However, your d8 can only go up to a maximum of 4. So if you roll like a 6, it would still be a
Interesting.
4.
Yeah.
And plus you roll your grease die alongside. And you're trying to get, I'm going to say it's a pretty easy, one second, let me.
It's just I just
know.
want to feel good about myself. Can we just make it
We'll
a
find
really
out.
easy roll?
Yeah, I'm working averages here in a second, so we're figuring out difficulty. We're sussing out how difficulty works. I'm gonna
Alpha
say
testing.
You need to get a 7. You need to get more than a 7 in order
This is
to.
not, and I can choose to include my grease die.
Yes.
So you roll, and if you fail, you can include your grease die. So let's see.
I did. I failed. So this is a great learning experience.
Okay.
Wait, did you just roll a d12?
That's your grease die.
Grease die,
My
remember?
grease
That's
die.
right,
Remember?
That's right. Never mind. Yes. So yeah,
Greasy.
you failed on your main roll.
So,
you
but
rolled a 4. However, if
I
you
rolled a 10 on my grease die, and
Yeah.
I can choose to put the grease die with that number so I can succeed, right?
yes,
Right.
But that will add 10?
points
Yes.
to your grease level.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, when I'm like looking at it, the mechanic is fucked up. That's really
Well,
scary.
Yeah. So maybe don't use your.
No, I will not
Don't
be.
tap
I
into the
will-
grease
You
just to
should
do a
tap
cool
into grease.
slide.
No, I will not be doing 10 grease to get to
So-
7, which is
to stunt on Vinny at the garage.
Yeah. So in
Literally
this
a character
case,
building moment.
yeah.
You're like, I will go insane to make my
So
character
can I look
a
at-
little cool.
I just looked like a hip bump to the car, and then I
You-
just
you
walked
try
around.
to, you try to
you fall.
slide. You tumble over the side. Like you make it over, but like you tumble and you fall and you hit the ground. You kind of smack into the ground. You
And
take
you-
one bruise actually,
You do
I have a
shoot
little
up
bit
the
of
clock.
blood coming out of my lip, and I.
just a little bit. Yeah. You kind of you try to recover, but yeah, you still take one bruise.
Still looks lame as hell.
I look tough as fuck.
I hope you did one of those things where you land and then you like immediately shoot up in a cloud of dust. And be like, it's
Yeah.
cool. It's cool.
Nothing bad happened. Yeah. And so you guys, so he's like,
I don't do that.
Of course, no. You just get on
I
your
just,
motorcycle.
I just get
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Because
he,
that's cool as an activity because it's a motorcycle. There's nothing. You don't have to do anything cool to get into a car.
He says, "Good luck to you threes. I hope you live." So,
Thanks, Vinny.
you're welcome. If you guys ever need to get your vehicles patched up, feel free to come this way. Or I mean, I see you guys have a pretty capable mechanic on your side. I mean, sorry. I
Throw
mean,
my wrench in the air, and I catch it.
roll. That's
No! I don't do it!
Keep trying to be cool.
Do you want to, or do you?
There's so much.
No!
There's so much implicit coolness already here. There's no reason to like do anything extra. But it's like, all right, weirdo.
I don't want to do it.
All right, so you guys drive up, finish driving up the main arterial. You start to get off to a side road. You start driving into the away from the city into the more wooded areas of Goldbrook.
Oh, it's quite far.
Yeah, well, the Goldbrook is surrounded by a bit of forestry. Quite a bit of forests. It's a relatively flat area. It's flanked by a river, but it's relatively flat except for the hill that houses the munitions factory. There's a hill overlooking the town.
All right.
Yeah. So you guys drive up. The forest itself, even though it is the afternoon, early afternoon, it's still pretty. The forest is pretty thick, pretty darkening.
Okay, so maybe it's not the
Yeah.
factory, maybe it's the forest by the factory. And kind of a Princess Mononoke, but reverse.
So
the other
maybe
way.
there's like people actually in the
Ooh.
factory doing their thing, right? But
I mean, not right now.
Okay. Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
because
it's
there's no
closed.
wars.
Yeah, it's closed.
Yeah. It's peacetime.
Yeah.
Should have started making something else like pantyhose.
Yeah.
You'd
yeah.
think so.
Or mattress Springs.
Mattress frame strings, yeah.
Springs.
Springs. Oh, yeah, no, that makes more sense. Yeah.
I
Right,
reapplied
right,
my
right.
lipstick. Don't make me roll for that.
I won't. You do.
Okay.
You do that. You apply your lipstick. It's what color lipstick is it?
It's the normal color.
Cherry red.
The good, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
this color.
The one that pops.
Yeah.
Ow.
Classic.
I
Right now,
don't.
it
I
really
actually
hurts.
pull up my bandit bandana.
Oh yeah, makes you look even doper.
Even more Mysterio.
Dopier.
I'll roll a cigarette and light the match off of my boot.
Ooh,
There you
that's
go.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Roll.
Damn it.
Wait. Make him roll. I can't make you do that.
Hey, GM, make him do the thing. Yeah. So you guys drive up this windy little forest road until you make it to a large chain link fence and and what looks to be a guardhouse and gate as well.
Are they empty?
Yes, there doesn't seem to be anybody there. However, there are giant padlocks on all of the doors.
I'm assuming I'm just gonna grab like some like wire.
Or why don't you just drive straight through it? You got a big car. You got a truck. Or if you want, you can like pull the lock apart.
Or
I was gonna just do like wire cutters.
Oh, do you have wire cutters?
Yeah,
Like
I
bolt
think
cutters?
so. I would like to think. Do I have bolt cutters? It doesn't say to my items list.
Then I'm
Then
sorry.
no. Okay.
Check what I have.
I'm gonna.
I have a jacket and a knife. I don't think I can help.
Yeah, like we don't have anything. We could climb.
Oh, I guess we could just climb over the fence, huh?
We could just climb.
You could attempt to climb. Yeah. This would be.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
All right. So it's gonna be
Sorry if I killed your character doing this, but
acrobatics.
okay, it's not on my thing.
All right. So that's gonna be fighting, and then and then thinking, but your thinking only goes up half,
Okay.
plus your grease die.
Grease die is my yellow one.
Yeah, and it's gonna be
Are
a
just
7.
you gonna
It's gonna
try
be a
to-
difficulty of 7.
So I have to get a combined roll of 7 with the 2 not
You
grease
have to
dice.
get at least an 8.
Michael, how are you gonna get through?
Unless, so here's the thing. So
Wait.
you want to, so the difficulty score, you want to get past it. You want to get over it. If you get the number itself, if you get the number itself raw, then you don't pass unless you take the grease die. If you take the grease die and that gets you up to the tie, ties are broken by the grease die.
Okay.
If that makes sense to you.
Okay.
If you have a tie, do you have to take the grease die?
No, you don't have to take the grease die.
You
You
choose to
can
fail
just take
instead.
the fail.
Whoa.
You rolled 3 1s, my dude.
wow.
You're a die, dude.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Wow.
even with the grease die, it's not gonna.
I'm not going to.
Yeah. You try to climb. However, the
Can I describe?
yeah, please,
Yeah.
please, yeah.
I attempt to shimmy my way up by stepping first on the lock. My boot slips. It's fine. I'm not concerned. I stick a boot in one of the links, right? And like I start working my way up, but it's kind of crunching down a little bit. It's like as I climb up, the fence actually goes down. And now I'm at the top. My foot slips again. I lose traction, and it springs up out of my hands, and like launches me up backward like an idiot.
All right, and then you
Oh
land.
my
yeah.
god, you look so dumb.
I'm gonna say you take a bruise. for
Yeah.
that.
Okay. And
That's
my goggles are like
Yeah.
askew.
Wow.
And like
Little Tweety birds around you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
okay. So I take a
Take a bruise. So yeah, you have
8. So
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
have 7. Got it.
yeah. So your bruise threshold is 8. So you can have up to 8 bruises.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your pen real quick? Just want to tally.
You can have up to 8 bruises, after which any bruise damage will be transferred into the second tier of damage, which is knocks.
Right.
And
And
if
does that reset?
It,
Or is it 8 then 4 then 2?
So you
Or
can,
is it 8 and then 4 and then 8 and then 3 and then 8 and then 2 and then 8 and then 1 and
no,
then
any bruise, as of right now, any bruises, if you have if your bruise threshold is at its top,
yeah.
any damage that you take will be
Okay.
knocks.
So you have a
Yeah.
meter of 8 and then a meter of 4 and then a meter of 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you
And it
can
doesn't refill.
yeah, you
What
can
do you
also
heal?
you can also take damage, like say you only have 4 bruises, but someone deals damage to you that someone can deal a knock to you. So that means you can have 1 out of 4 knocks while still only having 4 out of 8 bruises and stuff. The only thing that matters is if your knocks exceed its threshold, then you are knocked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the knock is like, hang on. Oh, okay.
So a knock
But
is
what about
like,
nasty ones?
a nasty one is an especially gruesome injury.
Okay.
If you
Somebody
take
cut
one,
off your fucking
if
arm.
you take a nasty one, you're instantly knocked out of the fight.
Oh, okay.
And if you take a second nasty one, you die.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless that nasty one is. So like, if you don't heal that nasty one, like you're still banged up. If you take another one, you will die.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a lot of time put into choosing what they were all called.
Yeah. I believe that.
Like a good
Finally
hour.
crafted.
Yeah.
Bespoke RPGs.
Yes.
Bespoke.
Tailor made.
Taylor
Okay.
Swift made
So
this?
what are we
Yeah.
what,
So
what are we rolling to try and climb this fence?
Do
It'd
you
be acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
fighting
okay.
plus thinking?
So that's a D8 plus half of a D4 for Donnie,
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
and I
can't
have to get an
exceed
8 or
4
better.
on his D4, or it can't exceed 2
You can't exceed it. The max on a D4, max is 2 that you can get.
if it's not in that. Got it.
Yeah. And you're trying to get a 7.
So that is a 7.
Well,
Now-
that's
Grease
half
point,
of a
right?
D4.
Right. So that's 2. So that's 5.
Yeah, 5. So you can take 6 points of grease in order to pass the test.
I'm going to, because otherwise I don't see how I get easily get an 8 or better off of a D8
I was gonna
and
say,
a
yeah,
D2.
It feels like why is the check such a high number?
I'm making notes.
Yeah, we're figuring
Okay.
it out. Yeah.
That's a
Alpha
really
I'm
good-
testing.
gonna pull my truck up very close to the fence, and then I'm gonna climb
Climb
on.
your truck.
Climb on.
Yeah.
Climb the
That's-
truck.
Alright, so
Why
but
didn't
first,
we do that?
So I'm-
first, before you do
No.
that, Donnie.
So I'm going to tap into the grease.
Yeah.
I rolled a 6 on my
You can
grease
also do
die,
those still, 'cause you
which will put me over that threshold, so I can climb the fence. So I'm going to climb the fence with my grease.
All right.
So I tap into the grease,
You
let
move it
myself,
up and
yeah.
just
Give
swim
yourself
it-
a little more. You feel
Swim up it like an otter.
feel the darkness of
What
the
are
grease.
you-
You get a little bit faster, a little bit. Your muscles feel a little bit better. You just.
Oh,
Yeah, it feels
Do we
good.
see like
It's a
little? Do
military,
we see like
you know,
little black
Yeah.
or like?
It's like yeah. It's
Do
like
we see like
12,
little
it's like
gray
15,
veins kind of
15 feet
popping
high.
out at various
Yeah.
locations on your body?
Yeah,
veins?
probably, yeah.
Like
Like
they
in your
they
vein,
show
like
up-
kind of like
So you take 6 points of grease to your
Yeah.
Why
grease
are you
level.
making this like a weird kink game? Like what's
No,
that?
like
No, you
anger.
see, yeah, you
Very
see like
vascular.
the veins are
Like,
like
kinda
little
like
black.
black.
Yeah, but then they go away after a little bit after he finishes.
Ooh,
But he seems like angrier.
like Venom?
Scary.
Like yeah, that's actually kind of what I was
You're
drawing.
thinking like
from
and he's
a
gonna
little
start
bit.
dancing now and start
Yeah,
pointing
yeah,
at girls and go, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a great scene in that movie.
Better without the music and with
Yeah.
sound effects.
It's really awkward.
Phenomenal. Hey, get away from me, pervert. So good.
So I'm gonna pull my truck up really close to the fence,
All right, you pull your truck up really close to the fence.
and I'm just gonna climb a truck.
All right, so roll acrobatics can be 4 difficulty.
See? Okay, wait. What's my fighting and my thinking?
Fighting and thinking. So you can only do half of your thinking though.
Don't forget your grease die.
I
You
So
did a
it's good.
4. You got a 4. Plus a 10 grease.
I would not take it personally.
Hey Michael, could I get the tier levels for each grease?
So your next grease tier is going to be 50. So it's 0 to 24, 25 to 49, 50 to 74, and then 75 to 100.
Right,
Once you hit 100,
You're done.
you're greased.
You are one with the grease.
Yeah.
You become a rat rotter.
Yeah.
A Ratweiler?
A rat rotter.
A
rat rotter.
You become basically Ratfang. You get the big long
Yeah.
arms and the goofy face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, more or
I'm
less.
cool with that.
Yeah, you know
That's
what? I
Mangle.
will take 10 grease for this.
Sure. Yeah. You just like at that point you just expertly you just leap into the air and like do a sick flip over the fence and you land on the other side. You look real rad doing it.
Hell yeah.
Charles, would you like to join in this?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it over the car.
Okay, so that's 5. 5 is your.
Why is it harder for me to climb
Wait,
over?
what was it? What did I
It's
say?
4 for her.
Was it 4? Okay, then it's 4. So.
Something I'm not allowed to?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, it's
What
4.
is it? It's fighting and thinking?
Fighting and thinking, yeah. So thinking can only go up to half.
That sucks. I mean, my character's just not built for this, but
Right.
God, if we're done in by a fence,
The first.
Honestly,
the
this
first
fence
challenge.
is really getting in the way.
3 and 6 is 9. And the 1 is my grease.
Right. Which one's your secondary skill? Which one's the thinking?
Thinking. Oh, so it's up to 3. So
Yeah,
it's
so
3
3
and
3
3
6. So you still,
that's
you still,
enough? All right,
yeah,
cool.
you still do it. Yeah, without
Climb
having
over
to
the fucking
take it.
fence.
Yeah, you climb over the fucking
Jesus
fence.
Christ. All right, got it.
You do it. All right. So you've climbed over the fence. You are now on the other side of the main the gate area. You find yourselves in right in front of another fence. No, just kidding.
This one twice as tall as the last.
Yeah, no, you guys are inside. You see a little guardhouse in front of you, as well as you're kind of on the road where the big trucks come to pick up the munitions and stuff like that. In front of you is a giant factory. Its windows are all dark, and the stands silent before you.
Are they boarded up?
Some of them are boarded up. The ones at the first floor are boarded up. The ones above are not. A lot of them have been spray painted just black. There are some you can see have been broken out, either like naturally, like from weather or the elements, or perhaps some hoodlums tossing rocks at the
all those
place.
Rayman fans.
Yeah, exactly. But you can see through the holes that it is dark inside. It's almost pitch black inside of there.
Everybody bring a flashlight.
Were kids like spray painting back then, like doing like tagging?
In the 50s?
I think so.
I feel like there's no reason for them not to have done that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spray paint might have been
Pretty sure
expensive.
spray paint was like
Probably
a thing.
it was probably expensive though.
Yeah.
Actually, Chuck made a point there. Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Or maybe it was just now becoming affordable.
Yeah, did you think of that?
I did think of that. I just don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know. We'll
Skill
make a
is
note.
thinking,
Great.
So.
Is spray paint cheap in this time period?
How much did spray paint cost in the 50s?
19 in fake
Yeah. Also, make
1950
sure to
whatever.
check the price of cheese, apples, and milk.
Why?
Okay.
Just because
bring
I
my
want to make a
sports
pie.
almanac
I don't
next
know.
time.
It was a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Sports almanac.
Yeah, so in front of you see there's a big set of double doors that have been just locked up with these heavy chains and big ass comically large
Of
padlock.
course.
Like a cartoonishly large.
Yeah, like cartoonishly large padlock. You can see like the keyhole's big enough for like a two-handed key to go into, things
So
like that.
I'm gonna just start hitting it with my wrench.
Start hitting it. Okay.
Is that not? I feel like that's.
I mean, you can.
Like in an attempt to open it?
I'm gonna hit it with my wrench.
Okay. Yeah. So you
The chains in order to like.
to
Or
weaken.
sorry, I guess the
what-
lock.
Yeah, you're hitting the lock itself. Okay. So is your
If
roll
you break
your.
the chain though, you should be able to pull the lock off. Because it's just gonna be like when you tie a lock with a chain, right? If you break the chain.
The chain is only.
You
The
still
lock
want
is
the
only
lock
as strong as a chain. So yeah, I'll probably hit one of the chain links.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Roll for melee.
Malay.
You can actually roll your weapon threshold here. So you're going to be, since you're using your weapon to do an attack. This is how it's done. So your weapon has a threshold.
It's 9.
Your weapon's threshold is 9. So oh shit, we forgot that you don't have a class skill in melee. So that's going to be interesting.
But I have a wrench. That's all I have.
We're
No. That's
we're learning.
Do any
We're
of us have
balancing.
flash skill in
Okay.
melee?
This is why we're testing.
You do.
This is why we're
You punch
testing.
the lock.
yeah,
He
we're figuring this
hurt
out.
himself.
Figuring
Wait.
this out.
Can I suggest something instead of that?
Can I give him my wrench?
What's your suggestion?
Can I take the lock with my butterfly knife? You said it's comically large. I feel like a knife would then be able to pick it.
Oh, perhaps. Yeah, definitely.
I have thieving. Feels like that's a skill that would
Yeah.
No! Wow! You cracked the game.
defeat it. Can't wait till we have to actually fight something. We're all fucked.
Yeah. So yeah, you.
I'll hit it with my wrench if I had any melee skill.
Oops.
Damn.
Dropped him. You take it and you just put it on the
Guys,
ground.
I hate
Like,
to say it, but I think
oh,
we're gonna need a beta.
Yes.
This is
Betas
literally the
come
first
after
time.
alphas.
Yeah.
Joke.
Okay.
Yeah. It's literally the first time we've put numbers to the page. Let's do it. Yeah, so roll your thieving. It's
Okay.
going to be your thieving. I'm going to say the threshold is still going to be what your butterfly knife is.
This is 10.
I mean, I'm sure I jotted
Damage
down a
1?
number somewhere.
Threshold 10. Yeah. So damage
Some
is
point right
one
in
knock.
this.
So your knife does, it's
I
harder to hit
certainly-
with it, but it deals more damage than these two guys.
It's a precision
Maybe.
weapon.
Yeah, so
Okay,
yeah, so it's going to be difficulty you're trying to beat 10. Yeah.
And the
I don't know.
I'm not trying to hit it.
no,
I'm trying to
you're trying to do
pick
trying
the.
to pick the lock.
So shouldn't just be rolling my thieving skill against whatever the challenge of the lock
You know,
is.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say you're
Rather
right.
than like, because I'm
the
not trying to
challenge-
bash my way through it.
I'm gonna say the challenge of the lock. It's a very big lock.
Yeah.
You know, and you're pretty
Comically
adept at
large.
thieving. Yeah, so it's gonna be. I'm gonna say 6. 6
Okay.
trying to beat
You
6.
can probably literally see inside what the mechanism
It's
is.
just like I'm looking at it, I'm like,
Yeah.
And thieving is
just like poke my finger, I'm like, beep, beep, beep.
thieving
Yeah.
is schmoozing and thinking.
Okay, show me something. Okay, so that's a D8, and a
You can actually
D6.
reach your fist in and just use your fingers as the prong.
I mean, it's half of the D6, right?
It's well,
Just,
it's skill, so
oh,
you do full
Just
extent.
tickle the
I was
pins.
gonna say,
Tickle the
is this gonna be the
pins.
first successful roll of the game? We'll never know.
Yeah, who's to say?
I hope it is.
6.
6.
I'm gonna spend my
Take
one
the
grease to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yeah. So just record somewhere that you have taken 1 point of grease.
So now I should be
So
at
that's
7,
a good.
right?
That's a
'Cause I had
good.
started with 6, or I had a D6 originally, or is it?
What are you fucking
Is
beacon of
everybody started
light?
0?
So you have 0 grease, and that's 1 point of grease.
Yeah.
Oh,
Once
you
so,
get
to
the
20
bigger die means that you can risk more should you need more. Like the
Yeah.
threshold for everybody is the same. You start at 0
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
work your way up to 100.
Yeah.
I had
It's a slippery
26
slope of grease.
when I started this
Gross.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He started with 0.
Yeah, because he's at tier 1. You're at
So
tier
did-
2.
Yeah.
I must have played a clean game last time for me not to accrue any.
Well, no, this is
This
fresh.
Yeah, this
fresh.
is all restarted,
Yeah.
reset.
Yeah.
You have a higher grease level because we want to use the higher grease level in this test.
Yeah, because
It's not like an inherent failing of your character.
You're using me.
Yes, we're testing a game.
Yeah, that's the point.
We're all being used. I'm using myself.
You're using me.
This is the part of the movie where I drink the formula that I've concocted and I start to turn into a fly man.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
like that part of the movie.
You're Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum.
Yeah.
Nice job,
Except
buddy.
that was
Life finds a
teleporter
way,
thing,
buddy.
But who's counting? I
Yeah,
am, I guess.
mean, we're thinking
Sorry.
about it. We've
It's
all
like
been to
when you're
the
counting it
Seattle
sarcastically.
Science Center. It's like,
Okay, cool. So I opened this lock,
No.
and I
You
use
open
I
the-
use some I
Bang
dip
your
into the
move,
arcane
yeah.
arts.
Yeah, a
It'd be
little
like-
bit.
and
Yeah.
I try not to let people see it.
Yeah.
'cause
Little-
it's embarrassing.
we
I'm
all
just like,
see it. We
Yeah.
all know.
You just,
you
you
don't
just
know.
get a little schmitz
slight
of grease,
of-
right?
Yeah.
"We're
Mm.
good.
Yeah.
Can't see nothing.
Yeah, like you needed that one last prong that you couldn't get, so you just
I'm like, boop,
hit that with the grease.
little
and
finger
just-
blaster on the
Yeah.
backside. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And so the big lock just opens up and falls. The chains all rattle as it all comes. It's a little bit louder than you wanted it to be.
Okay.
The noise kind of echoes through the
I
compound.
noticeably wince. I'm like,
Yeah. You actually
It's open.
because the echo. Yeah, it echoes, and then the door. Now that it's no longer tethered via a giant heavy chain, begins to kind of.
And I'm like staring at the door as it's doing this. It's like, are you done?
I pull out an oil can, and I'm like, honestly,
This place is going to hell.
It's actually now. It's very quiet now when you move it.
that's what I like to see.
But you stand before you. Before you is the inside of the factory. However, it is an inky blackness. Doesn't seem to be light. Doesn't seem to be able to penetrate.
Like it just absorbs all
Yeah,
light.
yeah.
Okay. Somebody pull out a flashlight? Oh, a lighter.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
a cool normal thing to have. I
Light-
don't have one. I
I'm
literally
going
just
to
have a
say
knife and
We
a
all
I'm gonna
have
say you guys
lighters. We
you
all
guys have
smoke.
lighters. Yeah.
because we're all cool.
Yeah.
We all smoke.
You're,
Yeah.
you're all greasers. It's the 50s. Smoking is cool.
And
Everyone does
who
it.
Smoking
wants
is
to pull
good for you.
It's healthy.
It's
Yeah.
good. It clears the lungs. That's why you
Yeah.
cough so much when you smoke.
Yeah.
It's clearing
It's
your
medicinal.
lungs.
Yeah.
I smoke
got my
menthol.
I've got my
It's
brown
prescribed
card.
to me.
God.
Prescribed menthol cigarettes.
So you turn on your lighter. You flick
Yeah.
on your.
We all flick our lighters on because
Donnie has matches.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I have matches.
No, Donnie has matches.
Oh, he
Because I
does.
established earlier that he lights a match off of his boot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's,
So,
that's what he keeps
I'll
evoking action.
just
Look at Michael keeping track
Yeah,
of the
just like-
story. He's like
This
the
is
little match
actually
girl.
Yeah, a little matchstick. Girl.
I hand him my backup lighter to cease the shenanigans.
I grab a piece of I rip the bottom of my coveralls
Uh-huh.
on the ankle,
Okay.
wrap it around my wrench,
Make a
pop open
torch.
my it would be like a flippy one. What did you call this?
Zippo.
A Zippo lighter. Pour it on there, light it with one of his matches.
It's not liquid.
Well, lighter fluid. She's pouring out the lighter fluid from the.
It's not like in a tank. It's like absorbed into like a wad of cotton on the inside. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just telling you.
How are you going to get past this little block?
Play within the fun of the game. Let me know my
we
fun
can
MacGyver
do this,
trick.
but we can. Let's see what kind of.
Is lighter
Maybe
mancy a
your
thing?
Zippo's different than my Zippo.
No, they literally haven't changed for like 100 years.
What are we trying to do here?
She's trying to get the lighter fluid out of her Zippo
My lighter.
and onto a torn up rag of her bottom of her pants, right?
Yeah.
That is wrapped
It's
around
gonna wrap around my wrench.
to make a torch.
That would
I think
probably be like a mechanics.
that seems like a that
thing?
kind of thing. Yeah, like you're trying to
Like you're
get rid of it.
MacGyvering.
Mechanics skill?
We literally just gave you the three of the ones that have your primary and main secondary.
I'm sorry, but you didn't give me mechanics skill.
Okay, but please don't sound so incredulous because we're testing the
I
game.
know, I'm so sorry.
This
I'm sorry.
this is literally the first time we've done something like this. With this.
Mechanics is on the other mechanic tree.
You make a game
That's for
demo
the
and they're like,
upgrade
"It's
tree.
not perfect
You're on
yet,
the
so-"
repair tree.
Yeah, you
Please
have-
bear with us while we adjust
we are
elements
so
of the
like we
game.
are so with it. We are so with it.
We appreciate the time and the feedback from the community.
Yeah.
We strive to make this game the best that it can be.
But also, we'd like
Thanks,
you to
Mary Jane.
buy a season pass for our game.
But also, we're already selling cosmetics.
Yeah.
To continue funding development, bonus
Yes.
packs and loot boxes will be introduced.
Yeah.
Just a reminder that Fortnite is still in their testing phase.
Still technically not actually a game.
Nope. And it doesn't. The not battle royale version feels like it's not a game yet. Anyway,
I
would
think
like
they're about to be
I'll-
on season 5 of their
Not a
still testing. Not really. This is a game.
Games
I would
aren't
like-
good when they come out, so
Well,
just never
I
release
True.
it.
would roll mechanics because it's probably thinking and.
Yeah, mechanics is thinking and schmoozing, I believe.
Schmoozing secondary.
Yeah.
You gotta schmooze with those card parts.
You know what?
So
Melanie?
my-
You know what? Why don't we just give you mechanics as a career skill
I feel like
for
we
this one? Why does that? Why not?
I mean, I have a note on this, so we should probably be giving people like access to like a few other career
I
skills,
would say so.
Okay.
like whatever their primary
Overpowered
secondary stat
versions of the
is, and then like a few others.
I think
probably.
maybe the class itself could get like 1 or 2 career skills, and then the different trees could give you more career
Something
skills.
like that,
Like
yeah.
that.
Grease
basic
monkey
general
should be the
abilities.
mechanics skill.
Not a bad one.
That's good. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a good talent. It's a good talent to have. So just write down grease monkey as a talent.
Yeah.
Monkey. Grease monkey.
So I roll that.
Yeah, you roll that. That's gonna be.
Michael, I'm sorry to give you a couple more things. Can you give me the stats on that?
For
that-
mechanics, I got it. It's thinking and schmoozing. Schmoozing
Yep.
secondary, thinking primary. And that's gonna be difficulty just 5.
Okay. I have a question about the primary and secondary skills
Yes.
for those. So if it's I got an 11.
Yeah, you did it. You didn't even need to
Or
roll
three,
it.
but whatever.
Degree stat.
When it's a second, so if it's not a skill that I have, what is the value that gets halved? Is
the
it
secondary
the
secondary
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 value
die.
gets halved?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just go.
So like even if you're not trained in something that has your primary skill, you're still kind of
Able to
okay.
try
Yeah,
it, yeah.
able to
Right,
try it a
okay.
little bit.
First
And-
represent the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
Right, because I get it.
Yeah.
I'm savvy to the world of thinking,
Mechanics and thinking.
Yeah. Brain power.
so I can use my brain to do things that have brain things.
Maybe not as better. Not as well
Gotcha.
as things that you're trained in.
So
but
I've
things
done
that-
it, yeah.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you managed to. Yeah, you light your makeshift torch.
I can no longer use my wrench as a weapon.
Well, you can swing it still, right? Like it's
no, I will go out.
yeah, it's okay. I don't know. We'll
It's
figure
great
it
for
out.
now. It's
If
fine
you
for
gotta
now.
hit something, you gotta hit something.
I do, and it's good for now. Okay, so let's go on. Let's move on.
You light your torch. The light extends out. I would say about 10 feet before
Okay.
the darkness kind of eats it. But you can hear as you kind of like walk a step or two forward, you kind of hear like a very slight sizzling noise at the edges of the light. Very very small, almost like a hiss, kind of like a quiet whispery hiss.
Well, that sounds unfortunate.
Yeah.
Is it sunny outside? You said it was
Yeah,
earlier.
it's a nice sunny day outside. It's getting to be mid-afternoon. The sun's starting to get a little bit lower.
I'm gonna break a window.
You're gonna break a window.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like a rock running.
That's
on
what I
the
was gonna
ground,
say.
a
Yeah, like
rubble,
do
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. You're outside. You're gonna step outside and throw a rock at the window on the inside.
I think
or?
like just like
Sure.
around on the inside.
Well, if I do it on the inside, then I
You
can't really see it because everything's
yeah,
blacked
you should go
out.
outside. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you step outside. You can see that all of the front, like the first floor windows, have all been boarded up.
Wait, Donnie, don't leave me in here alone. I don't want to be alone in
I
here.
wasn't going anywhere.
He's just like You're still way the fuck back in the original truck. You're like, where'd everybody go?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I'm here.
I leave my eyes open for 10 minutes straight, and they just disappear. Wait.
I take one puff of a cigarette and then whatever.
The wastefulness.
Smash
of the
it.
50s,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
practically free.
So they're boarded up,
So the first floor windows are all like pretty like thoroughly boarded up.
and I'm not gonna muscle my way through that. Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a stone and throw it at the second level.
Okay, so that's gonna be so for thrown objects, we have shooting
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't have that skill, but
Yeah.
So it's like a ranged.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you had a
Yeah.
gun.
So it's gonna be primary fighting, secondary thinking.
Perfect. My two best traits.
And yeah, it's gonna be trying to beat a 5. You say 5 is a good.
I got 5.
So-
Wait, I got more than that. I got
What's your
2
thinking?
and 3 is 5.
What's your thinking skill? Which one is thinking?
D6. So that's
All right,
2.
so that's gonna be a 3
Oh, it's
plus
a
3. So you still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you huck a stone up at one of the second floor windows. It breaks through. It makes a shattering noise. You see a nice rock size hole in the window.
You did it.
Yes.
You did it, Alice. Nice job, Alice. We're
Great job.
inside the.
You actually inside you see a ray of light actually shoot down through.
Ooh.
You can see,
It doesn't make that noise.
Yeah, it does. I'm sorry, I'm about to sneeze.
You need to start your Claritin.
Whatever.
Regime.
Okay, so you see a ray. The two of you see a ray of light shine down, kind of hit towards the center of the factory. You see the light shine on what looks like a foot, like a human foot. That
Whoa.
it
Is
sizzles
it larger
and
than
the
a
foot
bigger foot?
retracts, and you hear.
Ooh.
And then
Is
after-
it bigger than a human foot?
No, it was human
A
size.
human size.
But then after that, you see that the light actually seems to be being slowly from the ground back up to the window, as if it's being eaten, as if the light is being slowly like pushed back
Ooh.
and blotted out. Until
we got
it gets
greasy.
back up to the window. You see outside the window itself, where you can see some reflections of of the inside. It just becomes black, becomes pitch black.
Hey, Alice, we got a greasy situation in here.
Yeah, this place is good and greasy.
You begin
Oh,
to
no.
hear footsteps shuffling in the darkness further into the factory. Yes,
And God shuffled his feet.
They were roommates.
they were roommates. You hear footsteps begin to shuffle. You actually hear kind of like a breathing. It sounds like. Yeah, the footsteps themselves are breathing. No, you hear breathing of multiple people as the footsteps begin to get louder.
I
Shuffle
boldly moved towards that sound.
You move forward.
Bravely, not quivering in fear.
I'm not shaking, though my flame is. Unrelated, it's drafty in here. Moving forward with my light in front of me.
All right. You move forward, slowly, cautiously, bravely,
Brave.
but brave in a coward's way.
No, brave in a good way.
Cowardly brave,
Super brave.
bravely cowardly.
Bravely default.
Like a
Bravely
really
default.
good
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. The shuffling gets is getting louder as well. Up until you get to what you feel is about a quarter of the way into towards the center. Well, a
I've
quarter of the
taken
way
2
into the
steps.
factory. Yeah. You see forms on the edge of the light. They stand there, and they kind of sway a little bit. You see, just at the edge of your torchlight, you see six people. It looks like. Can't really see
Humanoid
anything.
figures.
Yeah, can't really see anything about them except that they're They're just kind of swaying in the darkness.
What do you do?
Touch him with my flame.
Ooh.
You
Spicy.
You hold your flame forward. You push. You basically move forward, move the flame forward. That pushes them into the light. They suddenly their heads. They're all kind of like listlessly looking off in different directions. Their heads all snap directly towards you.
Uh-oh.
And they open their mouths and begin to.
I don't think they like that.
And
Yikes.
they run at you. And now it is time for combat.
I'm going to use the bathroom real quick.
All
Me
right.
too. I really do have to go.
Wow.
to
Go
the
for it.
potty.
Well, all right. See you guys later. How you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Holding my bladder, in control.
Me too. It's great to be an adult.
I've been a kid on enough road trips, and I've had to do the tango of
Yeah.
got a piece of it, you're gonna die.
Yep.
Get pretty good at it. You know?
Yeah. I get you. I definitely get you. Man, God.
One of those.
All right. How do you liking the game so far?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I have is that I don't feel confident in my ability to stop the grease because I don't know anything about it and I don't know what we do to fight it.
Sure. Like
Like if this is my career,
right.
I feel like I would know like the thing that makes them fightable, right? Because otherwise it just seems omnipotent.
That's true. That is fair. Fighting the grease it's as easy as there are different monsters that are created by the grease.
Okay.
There are also monsters that are kind of a conduit for the grease itself. Like there are these more powerful monsters that say create the lesser monsters in order to spread the grease. If you take out that monster, it'll recede the grease in that area. So there's usually one central baddie that.
Okay, it's like conducting an army of whatever. And are they killed through traditional means of stabbing,
Yeah,
bludgeoning,
you
shooting?
can kill them. You can kill them regularly.
Like a monster. Okay.
Yeah, you can kill them like a monster. The thing is, like, if you're dealing with something especially powerful, it could regrow those, recreate monsters and stuff like that. However, so like the different levels of grease infestation can change in difficulty. Like in a minor one, it could just be like one or two like mindless.
Dude, you just gotta kill real quick and.
Yeah, and then they'll be fine. Where there are ones that are like full blown, like controlled by a grease, mastermind monster thing, really hyper intelligent, vampire-like creature.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess it is like Tears of Vampires.
Yeah. It's like
Like there's thralls and Caratans and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like the more concentrated a grease threat is, the more powerful there's going to be something heading it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can't get rid of the infestation without killing the thing that's heading it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not fully. You can't fully be rid of it unless you kill the big thing. Why'd you do that?
It's funny because that happened and it didn't make you look any different, but it's just funny.
He always thinks it does, though, and that's like kind of the best
Well, yeah, because
part.
it's your head, right? Like if somebody messes with the way that your hair, yeah.
There's not a lot to do.
No, but if you just like do that, you feel like you look different, even though you don't. You look the same. It's identical.
Completely the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're just waiting on Miguel.
He's here.
There he
He
is.
had to put up his top knot.
Yeah, I was just telling Charlie about how grease infestations work. About how there's
Yes.
usually, I mean, depending on the level of the infestation, there can be. I mean, there's usually one conduit creature that is
Like a rat king.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or like if it's a greater
Rat King's just
infestation.
a bunch of rats that are tied together at the tail.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with rat kings, dude. You don't even know.
They're fucking disgusting, and I love them so
creepy.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if there's if there's like a big infestation, there's usually one like mastermind grease monster that if
It's
you
not like
kill
a rat
that,
king at all.
if you cut off its head, then
Rat kings are
then
just rats being dumb. and
Also,
too
rat
close to each
kings
other.
die like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
because they all starve to death
'Cause
or they
it's
trample each other.
King part is the
Uh,
confusing part. That makes them sound
Except
really good.
for the fact that they activate their psychic powers when they're all bonded together like that,
That's true.
becoming smarter and able to lead all of the rats in the
All
colony
right.
in a way
So,
that they were
they're
not
all
previously
tied
capable
together.
of.
We've now entered combat because all of the black creatures have.
Rat kings.
Rat King. All right, yeah. So let's go over how combat works. So you guys, you roll your thinking skill to determine your place in the declaration order.
Nice.
Let me get a combat.
Is there a difficulty, or we just do it on raw
6.
number?
Just raw.
6.
6.
3.
6.
6.
Okay, 1 second.
6.
So this means that you two can choose who goes first in certain situations, because you both roll the same number.
Cool.
I also get to roll the other people, the baddies, the ghoulies, if you will.
If you will.
Everybody pay close attention to how many times he rolls, because then we'll know how many baddies there are.
Yeah, maybe.
1. I saw him do like a little tap. I think he did a tap. I think he rolled at least 1 die. Oh wait, he's rolling real dice. Okay, he rolled 1, 2, 3, 4. I think he may be obfuscating his dice rolls. 5, 6. Okay, there are anywhere between 1 and 6 enemies.
Uh-oh.
Nice. Nice and narrow.
Unless, of course, many of those enemies are operating on the same initiative order, in which case there's somewhere between 1 and lots.
1 and several.
No, what the fuck? There it is.
Is this your new surface or your old surface?
This is my old surface.
Ah, yes.
You have 2
His
surfaces?
dad got him a surface.
Oh.
I purchased their old the surface that they used in their cockpit.
It came with a
Purchased a surface.
It came with the
Was it a
thing
refurbished
to-
surface?
It was.
You purchased a refurbished surface.
Yeah, exactly.
It came
Good.
with a docking thing for the cockpit. And
Yeah.
it was like, it's so bulky. It's like a big cube, and then like the back has like there's a bunch of shit on the back of it. His dad was like, "You guys want this, right?" And we were like, "No." And he was like, "I'm giving it to you anyway."
Well, now you can mount your surface in an airplane cockpit.
I know. Every time we go on a plane, we'll check with the cockpit. We try to save our surfaces in there.
That's extremely cool.
I'm sure they'd love it. We'd get 2 sticky pins.
Ooh.
Oh, the wings.
Yeah.
They have the ones that are just stickers.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they all are kind of now.
They don't give you ones with the actual pins anymore because that's a sharp object and you could use it to take over the plane.
Yeah, what if you gouge somebody in the eye or like hit somebody in the side of the temple with it?
Honestly, if you can do that, you've earned it.
Hard stances by Melanie.
Yeah,
here.
wow.
Yeah. All right. So now that I have determined the declaration order, the order is as follows. So here's how combat works. So we have a set declaration order. It's like your initiative order. However, the higher you roll, the lower you are down in the order, because it gives you a chance to declare after people who roll slower. So it's like you get to choose. You can choose what to do based on what other people have chosen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then everyone rolls simultaneously, and the higher rolls of that go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll make sense once you play it.
Yeah, I feel like this needs to happen first.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll make sense when people just read the game and don't play it, but that's what we're working on.
You know, you have to figure out how to write it down,
Yeah.
and like that's not important right now because we're playtesting it.
Right.
Right. All right. So the first Ghoulies.
Alpha stage.
The first set of Ghoulies. I'm going to do these in 2 different sets. See how that works. First set of Ghoulies are going to go after Rose.
Oh, yeah, right. So that makes sense.
Yeah. Michael, you get to
Yep.
choose next. So it goes first set of Ghoulies, Michael. Second set of Ghoulies, Charlie and Melanie.
Sweet. Okay. They're going after my buddy Rose. Well, that's not going to happen, so I'm going to just go and start pummeling that group of ghoulies.
Get him, Donnie.
Yeah.
It's 1950s. Everyone's supportive of each other.
It's not very greaser of you.
No, it's not really. I guess.
Well, no, we're together. We're
all a crew.
Did you read The Outsiders? We're all in this together.
I watched the movie.
We're
Okay.
all
Good enough.
in this
bunch of people dying.
Together.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a tragedy. It's not easy being a greaser.
West Side Story.
It's not easy being Grease. So,
Cats. Anyway,
It's like Oklahoma.
it's Donnie's
Yeah.
turn, right?
hurts of Penzance.
Well, Donnie just said he's going to attack the ghoulies that are attacking you.
We haven't rolled
So,
or anything
Do you
yet.
want to go first? Or should I
Then
go?
there's
don't
a
think
second set of ghoulies.
Sorry.
The second set of ghoulies are actually going to be standing still for a sec. They're going to be holding back.
They're just walking in a circle doing the pace like the menacing thing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
They have knives and they lick and menace.
They're very zombie-like
Okay.
in their appearance, but
That's
they
different than what I had, but all right.
They kind of shuffle around around outside the light, around the circle
Michael,
of the light.
does Donnie have a gun?
No, none of us have
Donnie's
guns.
got a gun.
I would like to take my rent. Wait,
It is now the two of you get to decide what to do. You can coordinate if you wish.
Donnie, do you plan on getting in between myself and the ghoulies?
That's the idea. That's why I'm going after them.
After. So, my initial plan was to take my wrench that has the fire on it and just like.
Aragorn away from them? Like Eric in the face?
Eric
And, yeah.
Hornet, yeah.
Is that where you spin in a circle and you cut off everyone's head?
No, that's
No.
where
He literally fought the ring race with a big fire stick.
yeah, he was like throwing fire in their faces with the stick.
They didn't like it.
Yeah, to keep them away.
So I was gonna use my wrench still as a blunt force weapon
Okay.
to hit them all, but it's also got fire on it.
To hit them all.
I'm just gonna do like a windmill.
I think they're all in front of you, though.
I'll fight them with fire. I'll do the Aragorn
You're
thing.
gonna- You're gonna attack the ones that Donnie's
Yeah,
also.
I'll do
gonna
the
be.
Aragorn thing.
Okay, that sounds good. Charles, you're actually outside right now.
That's right. I forgot. I didn't come
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah.
And I hear a kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sneak my way in
Okay.
in hopes of getting some kind of backstab bonus or something.
You do have something like that in your
Yeah, I was looking at the.
in your talents.
Get back here.
Let me- yeah, let me look,
Sneak attack. When making an attack against an unsuspecting enemy, deal double the damage stated on the weapon, which is pretty cool. So I'm gonna sneak first. Stealth, I guess, right?
yeah.
Which uses which now? Thinking and schmoozing, right?
Stealth is
Schmoozin. Minus.
Stealth is schmoozin primary and thinking secondary.
Okay.
All right, so that's what you're going to roll for
Alright,
this
stealth in, yeah. to
for
get
this
in.
round. So everyone gather your dice. So you two are going to be doing melee. So
Yeah.
or I guess yours is unarmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it,
They're
alright.
the same, which will probably change.
And
Yeah.
what is melee?
Melee is fighting and
Schmoozin'.
schmoozin'. So everyone rolls at the same time. Let me get.
Oh, what was I supposed to surpass?
That's a good question.
nothing.
Well,
Probably an opposed roll for stealth, right?
Yeah, with combat. Give me a sec.
Are you gonna roll stealth rolls for
Or-
all of them?
No, I'm
Okay.
not. Absolutely not.
Maybe there should be a defined stealth threshold.
Yeah, or like maybe a range band or whatever. Like, okay, how close are you trying to get, or something, or like how far do you have to go, or
Yeah.
how close? I'm outside walking in, so I don't really.
Right.
Good. That's good.
Because like some
Perceptive.
things are more perceptive than the others, but would you do like a roll, like an opposed roll, or do you set like thresholds?
Write that down.
I'm going to write it down.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, we'll just write that down as a question.
Okay, all right.
A good point to have.
I can just also walk in too if that makes it easier for the moment. before-
No, because we need to test this.
Yes.
What
So
are you gonna
rolled-
test?
How would it go if we hadn't changed anything?
So you rolled a 4 plus a grease, or no, you rolled a 3 plus 2 grease.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just walking from the outside inside.
Yeah.
Mid kerfuffle, I might add.
We can have like a base alertness like an alertness.
There's like a basic like threshold for stealth
And
that's
sequential
like,
stealth checks increase
and then
that threshold.
yeah, or like that certain like enemies have like a talent or something that increases the
alertness.
threshold for
So their hunting, their alertness could be their hunting, like half of their hunting die. Plus
Sure.
1.
I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's work that for now.
In which case, these ghoulies that you're fighting, their hunting die is a D4, so that'd be 2 plus 1, so that'd be 3, which is actually your score, your result. So you would need to take the grease in order to pass.
I'll take the grease.
Okay.
Can I borrow your pen real quick?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But for right now, I'm gonna roll these guys too.
Yeah.
So if I get enough grease to bump up a tier level, do I get a bigger die, or does it
Yeah.
mean I die?
You get a bigger die,
Okay.
and then you get immediately access to a spell of that tier.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool. So it is kind of like a level up, but
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
But
Kind of
you
like-
don't want to
a
hit.
risky one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to hit level 5. Level 4, you're still okay. But if you hit level 5,
What if I
then
hit level plaid?
We haven't actually coded the plaid level yet.
No, well.
No one's ever reached level plaid before.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Alpha stage.
Yeah, exactly. All right, car mechanic back here. So they did. Okay, so you rolled a total of 5. Or he did. What you rolled also 5, right? So 5 and 5. Michael, what did you roll for your?
I got an 8 because
8?
I'm not using my grease. I got a grease of 2, but I'm using my 8.
Okay, so one of the ghoulies got a 10, and 2 of them got a 7. So that means ghoulie number 1 gets to go first
Bastard.
because he rolled the highest. And so the order's going to go of how these resolve is going to go ghoulie 1, Michael, the 2, ghoulie 2, ghoulie 3, and then you 2 because you guys rolled the same amount again.
We have bunk dice.
Cursed
so.
die.
It's very funny. So the first ghoulie who's going after Melanie.
But why? Rose has done nothing wrong.
You're brandishing a burning wrench.
I mean, we did come into a ghoulie nest and
Broke a
start
window.
breaking things, setting things on fire, swearing, spitting all over the place.
So this one actually beat its threshold. Is that 10? What's your armor? It's +1, right? So the ghoulies' claws, its threshold is a. It shouldn't be an 8 because it doesn't. Hold on, I'm gonna retooling.
Okay. Hot fix.
Calibrations were required.
So it's
Sorry, didn't
killing. So it should
Don't
be
Body check,
touch
yeah.
me.
6.
Hold on, one of the
Well,
admins will just
Melanie's
have to
spreading
adjust
over
this
there.
real quick.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a tier. So yeah, it's gonna be a threshold of 6 because it's gonna be half its. I'm just gonna do half for zombies for right now. Just half its stat +1 for the thresholds for a lot of it.
Okay.
So this weapons, its claws, its threshold is 6, so it succeeds even with your armor increase. So
Shit, okay.
it deals 3 bruises to you as it claws at you.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
That's a bad time.
Michael, it is.
I'm having a
so
bad
you deal.
time.
So you attacked
Yes.
one of the ghoulies.
Yes, I did.
And you rolled an 8.
I did roll an 8.
And what is the threshold on your weapon?
7.
7. So you passed.
Yes.
And so how much damage do you deal?
3 bruises.
3 bruises. Yeah, you knock you knuckle dust the one that you were that just clawed at your friend Rose, knocking it backwards. You can see that you seem to have dealt quite a bit of damage to it.
Friend.
Good.
Friend, Rose, friend.
And so next is the 2 other zombies. They actually they get to Rose, but they don't manage to like their claws don't get through her jumpsuit. Like she manages to just shrug them off.
Oiled canvas. What can you do?
Nah.
And so yours is so now you guys are at it's your turn, Melanie. You rolled a 5. What is the threshold on your weapon?
9.
9. So you actually don't you don't manage to do it unless you take the grease. which case you do do the damage. You keep rolling 10s on that d12.
Yeah.
I
Busted.
yeah,
The grease
because
is
all of
tempting
the
you.
dice are fucking busted. We're using these like recall dice.
Jobber dice.
Yeah.
They're jobber dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
The
that
Jobber's
grease.
Paradise.
I got 46 grease now out of 49 to get to the next level.
Hell
Wow,
yeah.
almost a tier 3
Just-
already.
Submerge yourself.
Yeah, just kind of nestle yourself into
I
that
want to
grease.
bathe in that grease. It's
Yeah.
an exfoliant and a moisturizer.
Yeah. So yeah, you do it. What's the damage on your weapon?
It's like caustic.
What's the damage on your weapon? What's the damage?
Not,
on-
5.
Five bruises. All right. You actually, yeah, you you managed
Kill
to
everyone. Yas.
the one that attacked you at first. It bursts into flames and it just kind of like turns to ash.
Yas.
The other two, so you deal 5. So 3 plus. Yeah, you actually you kill all 3. You kill all 3 at once.
Glad I could help. You're welcome.
Combat looks good in Greece.
There's still 3 more skirting the edge.
Oh.
They decide you managed to sneak in without them detecting you, though.
That's what you get
Yeah.
when you
Good.
mess with me. You're
Yeah.
just not gonna see me for a while.
You did it.
When you mess with me, I run away.
Alrighty, so now we're back to the declaration order. Those 3 ghoulies have been dealt with. The other 3 ghoulies are going to
Politely waiting their turn, Dynasty Warrior style.
exactly.
So kind.
Yeah, 2 of the ghoulies actually go in to attack Rose, while one of them splits off to attack Donnie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's because they haven't detected you, so they don't know where you are.
Do we know if there's any other presents except for those 6?
As of right now, you don't know.
There's
you can try
definitely
to.
a big boy.
Well, yeah, there has to be.
Yeah. So, Michael, it's your turn to declare. So the order right now is Ghoulies. The declaration is Ghoulies 4, 5, and 6, and then Michael, Charlie, and Melanie.
Okay.
Together.
So one's running to try and get Rose, and the other 2 after me.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna.
That's 2 after Rose, 1 after Donnie.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
after Rose because she did like a big fire spin. Thing.
Okay, yeah.
Got 3 ghoulies.
Okay.
I let you do that because you took the grease. That's just a note. I want the grease to feel, rewarding.
Yeah.
Should be. Yeah.
It
It
gives
should feel like a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tank this ghoulie that's after me, and I'm gonna use my my rocket fist spell to attack one of the ghoulies
Seems
that's
dope.
attacking
Sure.
Rose.
Yeah, your rocket.
Try and draw it over
yeah.
to me.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, and Charles and Melanie, what would the 2 of you like to do? Everything okay, Charlie?
Yeah, just making sure.
Okay.
I would like to. Is that like a perception or perceive thing that I can do to try and get a read of more information than is being presented to me, or is the absolute blackness making that impossible at the moment?
You can. I would say that you could make an. This would not. It could be an alertness or a. Let me see. Yeah, it would be an alertness roll, as of right now, versus the thing that you're looking for. So this is going to be difficulty of 6. It's going to be an alertness roll, so that's going to be thinking is the primary, fighting is the secondary. All right, and so wait to roll that. Melanie, what are you going to do?
My cool flamey spin thing is really all I felt like I had up my sleeve.
You got 2 baddies coming towards you. Michael said he's already going to try to attack the other one, or one of them.
Okay, so I'm just gonna
If it ain't broke.
do my quack to Leo. So pop, pop, pop. Move.
On the other one?
You gonna
Okay.
say that too?
Alrighty, so
Sure.
that's going to be
I
melee.
just wanted kind of like a 1950s kind of fun thing.
All right, so everybody roll their respective rolls.
Bopping all the field, finding all the field.
Nice.
Like
and
little
bop.
bunny
Little bunny
foo-foo.
foo foo.
Little bunny foo. I'm gonna do my little bunny foo foo.
Okay.
Quackilioso. I got 7.
So that's melee, right?
For my
Tyler?
I got an 8 again.
Got an 8 again. Okay.
6.
All right. So one of the zombies rolled a 9, so it gets to go first. It's going to be it's one of the ones that's attacking Melanie. So let's see. And your armor is 1, and the threshold is 6. So yeah, you take 3 bruises as it claws at you.
I'm at 7 bruises, so hopefully I'll go over the threshold and we
gonna
can
get
see
a
how this
knock.
mechanic works.
Yeah. All right, and then Michael, is your turn.
Yo. Yeah. So I Oh wait, I rolled this wrong.
Uh-oh.
Hold up.
Oh yeah, you got to roll because
I'm casting a spell. Instead of rolling my standard ability, I roll my primary stat plus the power of my vehicle.
yes, because vehicles have 3 of their own stats. They have torque, handling, and power.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Turns out, conveniently, the power of my vehicle is the same as my secondary stat, so it's still an 8.
All right.
But it does inherently include the grease die when casting a spell, and that's a grease of 4, so that's a total of 12.
Okay, so the more that you use the spells, you by default will always.
Every
okay.
time you do a
Yes.
spell, you have to take grease, unless you have something that negates that. I have one that says you can do 1 spell without grease
Without getting the grease thing.
per encounter.
Yeah. Also, another thing, if you're casting a spell that is of a tier below the tier that you're at, so say if you're at tier 3 and you're casting a tier 1 or a tier 2 spell, you don't incur a grease penalty from using it, or you might incur a lesser one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shows that you are already greasy enough to be able to cast those things without too much of a worry. I think my computer just died. That's great.
Fun. Who needs it?
Yeah. Alrighty. So you deal. How much damage does your attack deal?
It's still my same unarmed damage, which is 3 bruises.
Yeah, you knock him in the back of the head with your Rocketto punch, like a streak of inky blackness in the form of a fist appears out of your fist and streaks across the air.
Greasy
Green Lantern, boring as hell.
punch.
The magic I use is just bigger versions of the stuff I already use.
Well, and he hit one of them in the back of the head, and it stumbles forward. You can see that you've really knocked it off its kilter. So that means it is. What was your total, Mel?
I got a 6.
What was yours?
I had 7.
7. Okay, so Charlie, you go first. You're detecting.
Yes.
You're looking around for signs.
I put my hand to my temple and I go.
You feel out into the grease. I don't have the number anymore. You feel out into the grease, and you do feel something. You feel a presence. You feel a big presence.
A dark big presence.
A dark big presence somewhere.
Can I tell where it is?
You can tell is actually past the halfway point of the factory.
Okay, so in the back.
Yeah, towards the back of the factory.
I'm gonna try and work my way back there.
All right. We'll cover that in the next turn. Melanie, you dealt 6. Was your weapon attack? What's your threshold?
9.
Yeah. So you didn't do that unless you take.
So I have to roll 9 to do damage with my wrench.
Yeah.
You did it before.
Don't-
Why just do it again?
Don't be exasperated. Remember, we're working on this. I understand. I hear you.
I'm not
I know that
exasperated
it's
about
flawed.
the game. I'm just nervous for myself in this situation. Like,
It'll be fine.
I'm helpless.
You're hopeless.
I feel hopeless.
Thanks, Sam.
I'm not taking my grease for this one, because I am at 46 out of 49
For the next tier.
for the next tier. So I don't wanna.
Okay. Yeah. You just you the Ghoulies have grown seemingly wise to your
Assuming
tactic.
the fire has gone out at this.
I haven't said that.
I have not either.
That's an excellent point. You're swinging that thing around wildly.
No.
Anyway. And so the other ghoulies, they miss their attack as well. So now it goes back into the declaration order.
I just mentally figured out why they make D4s look the way they do.
Why is that?
Because they only show a number on 2 sides at any given time.
Yeah.
I was like, why don't they put it on the top corners? Because then you can actually read it. But it's like, no, the only time you ever have a side facing where all 3 of them are that way is when it is flat on a face.
There are some that have the top corners be the number.
So why would you ever make one like this?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, why are they not all that?
Because fuck you, kid, you're a dick.
Jabba dice. I don't know. I got no answers for you.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like most D4s that I've encountered, they have the number that you read on the bottom versus the top, and it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah,
this is
that makes
the
sense.
much
That's
better.
what they should look like.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, why would you do this? Like, what is this solution to?
It allows for less. It allows for more error in the manufacturing process.
I don't know. That's true.
It's hard to nail something in the corner.
Oh yeah, I guess this would make in cheaper dice. It would make these parts less stable, less structurally stable. I don't know. I'm just trying to give an answer.
Well, the fucker, it's plastic. That is structural, equal across the board, and it's a pyramid, the strongest shape.
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know.
guys.
I'm just trying to give an answer to your question that none of us know the answer to.
Can I stealth behind the monster?
You don't. You can go towards it. You can try to stealth towards it. You don't know exactly where it is.
Oh.
You can try to attack you can definitely try to backstab with the ghoulies.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
That seems more a higher utility right now.
Alrighty. So you're gonna go. So the ghoulies are going to. They actually switch their attack. The 3 are going to all focus on Donnie at this
Hey,
point.
what's up?
Perfect.
Yeah. Donnie, what are you planning?
I was gonna say,
on doing?
Donnie, our tank over here, not grabbing aggro, just remembers he has an ability to pull aggro.
Look, I'm doing my best, okay?
Fucking level 30s, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna. So yeah, while their attention is focused on me, I'm gonna do like a shuffle backwards as I just box whatever one is closest to me.
Okay.
Trying to keep them chasing me while Rose does something analysis somewhere. I'm sure helping.
Participating. Don't
Yes.
you worry. I figured out the thing about the light.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Alice does something, perhaps. You did it.
Can't make me.
Yeah, and so you're gonna try to backstab one of the
Yes.
one of the Zambos.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
and what would you like to do?
I'll heal.
Well, that's a good idea.
You
probably
got
don't.
any bruises?
Nope.
Can you heal your own? You're like at the threshold for you.
Can I heal my own?
I would say so.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, so I
Got a
will.
bruise level.
Because otherwise you need 2 healers.
I'm gonna use
Yeah.
buff out, which is a tier 1's
Take a rag
tier
and
1
you just
spell.
start shining your broken arm. Like,
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I
Nice.
just start rubbing
Just fix the scratches.
rag on my arm. And it's a tier 1, so I'm gonna roll thinking and power is from my car.
Yep.
That's a D8, and thinking is also a D8, so I roll 2 D8s. Gonna roll a D8.
You also still roll your grease die. You're just not forced to take it.
Okay. I got an 8. The threshold 9.
We're going to be
I say
making
use it.
adjustments.
grease it up.
I'm just gonna say I don't.
Okay, it just fizzles.
Fly by wire. It's all good.
All right, yeah, you guys roll your also attacks.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So backstab, sneak attack. All right, we're making a technical deal double damage. Stay on the weapon. Okay. And what's the difficulty level I'm trying to overcome?
You're just attacking. Do a normal attack, like your butterfly knife attack.
Okay, which is 10. Got it. All right, and it's it's melee, right? I imagine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Problem. Got it. Okay. What is it? It's fighting and thinking again.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Or melee is fighting and.
Schmoozing.
Melee is fighting with a schmoozin secondary.
I like that. Oh, I can only use half of it.
Major and fighting, minor and schmoozing.
That's just 2. Wait. That's physically impossible then.
So
The maximum I can roll with that is 8. I can't hit with any attack.
You got a grease die, though, don't you?
The only way I can attack is if.
But like,
So-
I
Why would I
think
carry
Okay.
this weapon? This is terrible.
the
Okay.
thing then
So-
is if you get a low enough grease value.
So obviously the threshold is too high for these. I think we're gonna probably be adjusting these down like 2 to 4 points
I was
in
literally
most
just making sure
circumstances.
that it was recorded, that there is no way
Yes,
for me to
yes.
hit. Got it.
Yes.
Also,
I'm thinking everyone should have the opportunity to take as a trained skill, like a combat and a
That's the
social
threshold.
and
taking the grease will means you break the tie.
Right, cool. So I will take the grease to break the tie. The damage is 1 knock.
There's 1 knock, and it deals double the damage on your weapon because you're backstabbing. So you deal 2 knocks.
Ooh.
So
Sucks
no
for
good
them?
pen. It's under your
Yeah.
right foot.
Thank you.
He's at 10. What did you roll?
I have to take my grease, so I've got a greasy 7.
Greasy 7. He's got a greasy 10. Got an ungreased 10 and a 9 and a 1. And then you failed your heal. Yeah.
You know, though, did I? Because I learned something about me, and I think self-reflection is a way of emotionally healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
whatever. Something that a square would say. Am I right?
Hey.
Hey.
Self-defensive yucking.
You actually so you rolled a 10.
Yeah.
Greased. So yeah, you right before one of the ghoulies attacks Donnie, you stab it in the back of the
Yeah,
neck.
let's
and
refrain
it
from
just-
calling them zombies.
Why?
Because they ain't zombies, the grease.
the ghoulies.
Yeah.
The base ghoulies, yeah. Mindless ghoulies. Yeah, you stab one in the back of the neck and it goes down. You just murder it.
And I do the.
Yeah. However, one comes in from the side and
Oh!
you take it actually bites you.
Ooh.
Yeah, it bites you in the arm.
I think
You
to myself, I should really buy a gun.
It's actually a pretty gnarly bite. You take 1 knock.
I would like to have the audacity to say that everybody thinks the exact same thing. We
She's
should,
like, we should
at
make
least
guns.
one of us should have a gun.
Right.
The idea is that guns are going to be fairly hard to come by because you're a bunch of punk teenagers. For the most part, the intention is that you're a bunch of punk teenagers, like greasers. Anyway, so you're not going to have like a lot of guns. Like
So
maybe
he's not
maybe
a
like in a
37-year-old
while.
woman.
Yeah,
He's
why
a
are you-
37-year-old woman because we didn't specify, but like.
Yeah,
In the
yeah.
future,
And yeah, you didn't.
And you can certainly be a 37-year-old woman, but like the intention is that you're a greaser, so you're a disaffected youth.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So like
Oh, yeah.
we got a mom pop, but like we have a mom pop.
All right. Now it's
Right.
your turn.
Didn't have a home.
So
Dad's always
you-
passed out.
You passed your.
I
So
got a dog.
So for like ranged weapons,
That's my
you
brother.
can have it like the lower
Yeah.
levels. You can have like slingshots. You can have like
like a Red Rider.
yeah, like a BB gun.
Yeah.
But like you're gonna have like firearms unless you've got some serious scratch on you.
Why the?
And punk
Like if I was to
kids,
choose
Yeah,
a
for children.
ranged
Punk
weapon,
kids.
how? Okay.
because you can't
No,
afford
if
it. You will not be able
pump
to
one of
afford
those-
it
You are
if
right,
pump
you are
one of
right.
those, like,
A
20,
Red
30
Rider
times, that
BB
could break
gun-
your skin.
That hurts.
Actually-
That'll hurt.
that
Yeah.
can break skin.
Yeah,
I get
it'll
it.
do
regardless.
bruises.
Like
It's-
actually, every time it can break skin.
yeah, it's a ranged weapon that does bruises, and then if you have like an actual gun, that's going to inherently do a nasty
that
one. You
shit'll
get shot,
kill a,
you're
kill
going
a
down.
rat.
That's the idea.
Point blank,
Kill a
it'll.
whole rat
Anyway.
king.
So I'm going to tap
Let's not go
into
crazy.
I'm tapping
Let's not
into
take
the
that one.
grease.
Okay.
Yeah, you can only take out one of the Rat King. You can't kill a Rat King that easily.
I kill all of them.
Anyway,
Just take
Uh,
one of its
kill.
members.
Anyway, yeah, Michael.
so yeah, I rolled a greasy 7, so I'll be able to hit it by tapping into the grease,
yeah.
Riding
which
the
I
greasy
do.
wave.
Yes, you do that.
So I
Yeah,
take
you
another 3.
tap into the grease and you hit him with a nice big right hook.
Yeah.
And this sends this one spinning, and then it falls to the ground, clumps to the ground. There is currently a single of the ghoulies left, the initial ghoulies. At this point, though, you see it moves towards you to begin to attack, but then you hear what sounds like a humming noise. No, it's more like a
Buzzing?
like a buzzing or like a vibration of a guitar string.
Okay.
Like a single guitar string, not a slap bass.
Deep, deep, deep.
Yeah.
No.
No, you hear just a bing, and the ghoulie stops, kind of stands up as straight as it kind of can while its head's kind of slouched off to its side. See, it looks like it's wearing like kind of construction gear, kind of looks like a construction person. It steps back into the darkness, and you can see it walks backwards away from you.
Cool.
Do ghoulies have teeth?
Yes, one just bit your friend Donnie.
Most of them do.
Give him a gummer.
Some of them don't. Like a blob, that's not got teeth. Unless it's like ate something that has teeth recently and it hasn't like fully digested.
Or is made of teeth.
Right.
Just imagine a big undulating mass of teeth.
You hear a voice.
horror.
You hear a voice echo through the munitions warehouse. Here. You three kids seem to have gone through a couple of small gigs before.
Oh no, a music-themed villain!
Oh no!
This is the big show now.
Oh no!
You hear a couple other.
Oh, fuck.
Some kind of rockabilly vampire
You
lord.
gotta be sincere.
Just like all of the fan art that I've already drawn for this game. You see a glint in the distance. What it looks like a bright pearly white smile in the distance. Then you hear another guitar strum, and then we're gonna stop there.
Ooh, a
A
cliffhanger.
little bit of a cliffhanger on our playtest.
Well, I'm
Ooh.
not dead, and that's pretty good.
That is good. That is a start.
Are we going to be taking a chance to discuss it, or will we just discuss next time, or?
Well, yeah, we
Are
can
we,
take a
are we
little
chatting
bit.
it on stream?
Yeah, we
then?
can chat about
Okay.
it right now. Yeah, a little bit of gut hits for the start.
I hate this game.
Wow.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's
Great, thanks for the constructive feedback.
Really, I think that'll help us improve and make a better game by letting
Question
us know your preference.
about the kind of like main villain. Does the grease come from grease itself? Is grease, does it create its own forms, or does grease require like a form to fill? So like a zombie,
especially
like a zombie
strong-
virus, does it like work that way?
So
or?
the way I've been thinking and the way I've been kind of thinking about making of the monsters and stuff, especially strong grease, like very strong, does not require its own host. However, most of the time it requires, it needs to corrupt something in order to to survive.
So for
like
like
parasitic.
for structuring it in my head, it would be like the big bad guy, the boss, would be basically all grease.
Yeah.
What comes
So-
from that boss? Its minions would be maybe.
So thematically, the idea, I think, is that the grease is like a malevolent force. It's
Yeah,
like a
entity.
force of nature. It's decentralized. It's not like a sentient thing. There's not like the grease, and it's like, the Sephiroth of greasers and ghoulies. That's like your final boss that you will eventually defeat. It is a malevolent existential force. The corruption that it
Like the great
creates. Yeah, like the corruption that it creates entities of the grease, and some of them are powerful enough to then go on and act as agents of the grease, causing further corruption themselves.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, the lesser forms of grease are going to be like mindless, bestial kind of things, just causing
it's
chaos.
like the Zerg.
Yeah, exactly, causing chaos and destruction. Whereas if you have a stronger font of the grease, like a conduit, someone who is able to contain the power, able to have a mind of their own while still spreading it as an agent of the grease.
Yeah.
Controlling those mindless creatures. Yeah,
So like
a hive mind.
So like when a greaser falls to the grease and becomes a rat rotter, that's one of the things that they become. Is that like they're still like sentient? They
Chaos
still have.
Space Marine.
Yes, that's not an inspiration.
It's a good
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah.
I think.
In our
Yeah.
lore, the city of sin is the largest font of the grease. Is
Las Vegas.
Las
Oh,
Vegas
yeah.
is like that's where the most grease has concentrated itself. And there was one greaser who was the king, went to try and fight the Grease.
Yeah.
Guys.
You ever
Come
watch-
on.
You ever,
Fell and became corrupted.
you ever see the movie Six String Samurai?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's totally what this
Yeah.
is.
Yes, you are right.
Okay, cool.
That is one of
I-
the
Super down with that.
Recently.
I,
The magic
I-
guitar thing was like, yeah, fucking
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
This is
I,
the samurai thing.
Yeah.
I bought the DVD of Six String Samurai from Crazy Mike's Video when they were going out of business, specifically so that we could watch
So
it.
you had the option. Okay.
Yeah.
So like in
Watch
our
it
lore,
as a
in our,
Comcast Direct movie. I was like, that sounds cool.
Ooh.
in our
It's a
burgeoning-
bad film, but it's a
yes.
great
Awesome,
idea.
yeah.
It's an incredible idea, poorly executed.
In our
That little
burgeoning
kid.
Ah.
our burgeoning lore, the main like
burgeoning.
if you can have like the biggest conduit of Greece right now in Sin City is the king. Is
Fat
that-
Elvis.
Yeah. But even if you defeat
It's
like,
Fat Elvis.
It's Fat Elvis.
yes, if you defeat the king, if you can defeat the king, you would decentralize that Greece. You would make Greece a lot weaker, but you wouldn't be able to destroy it.
It would
Yeah.
be gone.
It wouldn't be gone. It would
Yeah.
just be scattered.
Yeah.
And yeah. So there's that, and there's also
Grease Aspera.
yeah. There's the Man in Black is one of the last surviving
Johnny Cash.
you know
Yeah.
good guy greaser person
I
fighting
think
the
you mean
king.
Trent Reznor.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Will Smith.
Gerard Way. That's who we're
Tommy
talking-
Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones
Oh.
would be the other.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the idea behind the
pug.
Grease.
Yeah.
Men in Black.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've made some comments about this as we've been playing, but
It's-
yeah, we're gonna just like
Just the
It's
numerical
interesting because I like
values.
expected to see a lot more errors in the game based on what you guys gave us for character sheets. I imagined in my mind they're like, gameplay. It's gonna be a lot based off.
Right.
It's the quality of it's gonna be based off of what I can see on my sheet, which seems like pretty clean, right?
Right.
And things went wrong that I like could not have
They could not have really guessed.
could not have guessed. Yeah.
So
And that's interesting. I feel like I'm learning about indie RPGs from watching this experience.
yeah, so is there any other commentary, any thoughts from like the gameplay? I know it's still in a rough state, but is there anything that like stands out as like this is particularly nice or particularly like
I think that
unpleasant?
having the it reminds me a lot of the Destiny rolls in Star Wars.
Okay.
So when you roll, you can flip a Destiny point to push an action that
Yeah,
might
yeah.
be more difficult or to make it more difficult.
Mhm.
And I like that we didn't every time that we've ever played it, we don't really use it the whole time. We kind of
Yeah.
forget about it.
Yeah.
But the Grease system seems like an active version of that, where it's
Yeah.
like there's
You
an
have
active
to-
level of corruption. Is there a way to decorrupt it all? I don't know if that's a
There
As
isn't.
of right now, no, we didn't
No.
really.
not there yet. No one's gonna get fully corrupted in one game.
I'm intrigued.
Oh, you might. You were rolling a lot of
It's-
tens.
Well, I was kind of just trying to play with the system, but I am really intrigued by the fact that there is a huge risk.
Enormous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like with the Destiny points, the risk is that like if you flip a dark side point,
Well, and they flip every time, so they're different every time
Yeah.
you play the game. It's a global thing that anybody can
I
use.
know that. I
Oh.
know that. But
Yeah.
like when you're playing, if you run out of light side points, if your team does, you can choose to fuck with the dark side.
No. So the way that it works is that the GM gets to use a side to flip things against you, and you engage. The
Is that
other-
not right? You can't try to flip a dark side point.
You,
Or
When
you
you
can
roll
choose
when
to
you roll
use
your
a-
force die,
Well,
you can
you
use
can-
dark
yeah.
side
Sorry, I
force
guess that's
points.
what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like you can choose to use a dark side point, but I think that
And it does corrupt you. So yeah, it is actually a lot
this
like that
kind
too.
of like combines both of those.
Yeah.
It's a constant reminder. I like the moral side of it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a constant reminder that you could become a bad
I-
person.
idea.
Yeah.
You can potentially cleanse yourself of some of the grease points that you have, but only to the,
The bottom
tier
of your
that
tier.
you
Yeah.
that you have.
That
I
makes
think that might be a
sense.
good idea.
I think that might be an option. I'm also thinking maybe like doubling the scale, so it's like a 200-point scale or maybe even a 500-point scale.
But keeping it with the same numbers.
With like the same tiers and everything, but just so because right now it's like Mel like went up,
You got
could
to
have very
3,
easily
right?
gone up an entire
and
another
I'm rolling
tier,
a D12, and so
especially
every
with
time
the
I roll,
size. Yeah.
Yeah, and if
Um,
I roll,
Also potentially an option, you can
Times.
choose to roll a lower grease value. You can choose like the D6. I don't know if I'm okay with that because I kind of want the corruption
it
to be like
cheaps you out, yeah.
it feels like a
I kind
cheaping.
of want
but it's an option to
combination.
consider.
Yeah,
Very
I feel
high-risk,
like
high-reward
a good combination of
Yeah.
increasing the scale itself and being able
Yeah.
to cleanse a little bit to
Yeah.
down to the bottom of the tier that you're
Because
at.
it's all,
Yeah.
all the margins for everything is so close right now that
Yeah.
no matter what you do, you're probably gonna have to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, I think that as long
What if we do the first tier is 0 to 24, the second tier is 25 to 74.
like the
and
second tier
third-
bigger.
Yeah, second tier bigger,
Yeah.
and the third tier
Okay.
even bigger, and the fourth tier bigger than that.
On that's like a 200-point scale.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
on
that.
on the basis of like
And that represents that it's actually harder to get better at it.
Yeah, like you
Over
kind of
time.
have to
Be-
try, but also
like it.
you
You're
get a
gonna
little
want
bit
Like
more.
like
Yeah.
a like an XP curve,
Yeah, a little. Yeah, exactly.
but it's a corruption curve.
yes.
on the less helpful
skill
and
curve.
definitely auxiliary kind of like theme. I feel like we all realized at some point that we didn't consider cigarettes are like a very common thing in this era, and I have no idea what they could do.
Just write
I don't-
cigarettes
But, like,
question mark.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
like
include
there's
Well-
like
maybe like it's a stim pack or something.
yeah, there's like something to like feel out in there, and like I
like
don't know if
temporary
you
help.
I don't.
you don't want to
I
play
don't
to them
know.
being
I
a
don't
good
know
thing.
that I want them to like
I know.
have a mechanical effect. Like I think that's one of those things where it's just like they just exist, right? Like we're not gonna like condemn them, but
But-
we're not gonna like moralize on them. But I also
And-
kind of
You
don't
don't
feel
wanna have them
comfortable
be like a stat, like a-
encouraging
And
them.
and
I
even
get
in the
that.
way that like we basically just use them as like, oh duh, we all have lighters because we all smoke
Yeah.
cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like just
It's
the
just
fact that
something that's a part
it's
of
an
the world.
item that's on you, and if you can figure out maybe a
Yeah.
Clever to do with it.
create like to like burn
I need to
someone's
start a fire from a
skin.
distance or whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
make
yeah,
use
yeah.
of it as part of a
Like a
spell,
cigarette.
maybe, not something that'd be like a stat
Yeah.
steroid, but something that could be used as like a spell.
I like the idea
Yeah.
of glorifying it so that it becomes a cool thing.
Smoking is cool.
No, I
Because
really think you
remember,
should
it is cool.
we
encourage
have
the
a spell
health
that is called
benefits.
smoking
As-
is cool, kids.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, as long as we put a mature content warning on the
Yeah,
cover of
yeah.
the book, we can do whatever we want,
Yeah, exactly. One
and
thing-
nobody can
And
criticize
a
us
picture
on
of a dead
Twitter.
pregnant
Yeah.
woman on the back.
You
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
wanna play Fatal or
One thing that I want to
Never.
one day we're gonna do it.
one thing that I think
April
we need
Fool's stream.
to retool a little bit is the combat system.
Yeah,
It's a little clunky right
it
now.
feels clunky.
Is
Yeah.
it the rounds? You think?
I-
Like
I
sounds
liked-
and rolls?
we wanted to do a simultaneous action game
Right.
where the players like the more adept you are at reading the situation, the less the lower down in the initiative order you are. So it gives you a chance to read the situation and respond to it, and then the rolls. In theory, like when you do the actual rolling, the higher the roll is, the more like the higher up your action happens.
So that there could be a difference between being quick thinking versus quick acting. Somebody who's like physically fast could still like get a punch in before the like brainy guy can respond, but the brainy guy knows what he's doing
He can
more
put
than the
himself somewhere
brute.
else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I ran
want-
into frustration with that when I was playing because I recognized that like, okay, I rolled pretty well.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to go after Michael, and I was like, yes, this is going to be a benefit to me. I'm very prepared to choose what I want to do. And then Michael's actions actually inhibited the thing that I wanted to do.
You got to speak
Yeah.
into the mic.
Sorry, Michael's actions actually inhibited what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which should, like, I didn't feel like that was
Yeah.
what
I
I
think-
anticipated.
I think we tried to get too clever with it, and we could probably benefit from a more
A
typical
little bit of
initiative
it more
system.
simple.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll retool it for the next.
I feel like
Yeah.
there's a version of that.
Because the regular combat part, the part where you actually did the actions worked just fine.
Yeah.
It was just I think the initiative part was confusing because you weren't
Yeah.
sure what. I was like, I mean, I'm gonna have to roll, but why?
And
Right,
I enjoy
right.
the opportunity to like hear the GM really narrate
Yeah.
the combat because it can be a very interesting and fun opportunity for the GM to do some really great storytelling.
Get a little
and
more cinematic.
yeah, and for like the audience or for even us, the audience, like
Yeah.
us as adventurers, the
Yeah.
audience, to like hear some really great storytelling and see our characters in a way that's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Especially in a mechanics-heavy portion where storytelling helps cover for the fact that
Yeah,
you're
'cause
doing stuff.
Yeah.
Combat is always going to be the most crunchy, mechanics-heavy part of a game,
Totally.
and we wanted to make it a lot more streamlined and cinematic, but I think we actually got a little bit more
Too
bogged
clunky.
down
Yep.
in it, trying
I
to
think
make it.
I think it's actually a really cool idea. I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind
yeah.
playing
I
it.
want to make it as intended, as we intended it to
Right.
be.
Yes.
A little streamlined, easy to go through and do.
Yeah.
To that end, I do like how our weapons system, the threshold thing, works. I do
think
like
that works
that.
just fine.
Yeah.
That made
We
a
need
lot
to
of
just-
sense.
We just
Yeah.
need to tool out the
Yeah.
actual numbers. Of
Yep.
it.
I think it's just the numbers and skills.
Lower the threshold, maybe up the damage or something. I think we don't have a way to do a critical hit yet, and there should be.
Yeah.
Is there a way for me to, if I've been fucking with this wrench for a really long time, do I have to get a new weapon, or do I upgrade my weapon? That's a question I have.
Well, I think there'll be ways. Once we go do items, I think there can be ways.
I guess
for
that's
you
just
to
my
add
question.
weapon
Is like,
upgrades and
is
stuff
that
like
gonna be?
It'll be. I think.
Yeah.
I think it'll be, and not trying to damn us by a comparison. I want. It'll be kind of more of a Fantasy Flight Star Wars kind of thing, where the weapons are going to be a part of the character, not necessarily like
Right.
its own
Right.
Not like D&D where you.
It's not rigid.
You're
and
getting like you're
better
upgrading your
weapons.
swords.
get
Like
No,
the
you
sword-
tool
yeah.
something that's.
you could
for
get like maybe talents that like okay, your like starting weapon is now like a little bit better, but you're not like you start with a wrench, you're not getting like a +5 wrench. You're getting a
I just
talent
know
that's
how
like
to use the wrench
your
better.
wrench like
You get
And
better
they're
at
more
using it.
generic.
does
This is
more
what-
damage.
This is what
Yeah.
it
That
does.
sounds
This is what
awesome.
it is. No,
Yeah.
I like that a
it's
lot.
magic
Yeah,
with less
it's still a
wrench.
fucking wrench. It's
Yeah.
just like you can do
Yeah.
good
And
things
it's the
with
same.
that.
It's the same with armor. Like everyone's wearing like regular clothes. Like
Yeah.
they're wearing leather jackets. And
I do
jumpsuits.
appreciate that we are just
jumpsuits.
wearing clothes, and it's
Yeah.
like
And so they're not going to give you a lot of defenses. But there might be some like way for you to perhaps
Maybe you get a
modify
helmet.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Or you get a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Not
Because
literally,
we want
but-
we want the rules to work with the world, not the world working with the rules.
gotcha.
yeah.
Clever. Is that the
Right.
tagline for the? Got it.
That'd be
But
really
yeah.
bad.
And it is it's a very like greaser thing to do, right? Be able to customize your jacket, customize your
Put some
Yeah, you
spikes
get
in
your
it.
mom or your
Yeah.
girl to iron on a good
yeah,
patch for you.
good get a nice gang patch, somewhere on
snakes.
there.
Yeah, tunnel snakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, tunnel snakes rule.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to. There's also going to be more.
That'd be us. It's a big rule.
The most
Yeah.
customization that you're going to be doing is going to be the vehicles.
Yes.
We want that to be the most, because like you're a greaser, you tune your hot rod, you tune your motorcycle, you make it.
And that's something
Make
I
it better.
feel like we didn't get to
It's a
at
big
all
part,
in
not-
this.
Yeah, because we haven't actually done it yet.
Yeah.
We need to
Oh.
actually make it.
It's a big part of the game that's still missing.
Arguably,
space
it's
combat.
half of the game.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the space combat in Star Wars. You kind of look at it like, ooh, that looks hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're fine tuning the personal side of it, the player side, the characters themselves, before we get into the nitty gritty of the vehicles, which is going to be probably the most
Like these
crunchy.
punk teens. I mean, I remember being a just normal team, but like your vehicle is part of who you are.
Yeah.
person.
Especially
So
in greaser
having-
culture.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
Greaser
and so
culture.
having
incredibly
that be
huge.
such a huge part of who
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah, and in our game,
It's the phone of the 50s.
yeah, and in our game, the car is not only your mode of transportation, it's also your spell book. It's also the conduit for which you use the grease.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why
Probably
you're
should've
rolling
brought
the
mine closer.
power of your vehicle
parked
when you're
closer.
spell casting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have definitely parked closer.
Yeah, definitely parked closer.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like your spell book and whatever.
Yeah.
So this is all very good information to
Yeah.
have.
That was fun though. I
Yeah.
like
This was
the
fun.
idea of
It's
the world.
fun.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm positive about this. I feel like we got some good information to go over.
If like
and
nothing else,
to-
it's like
to-
fun. The accents, everyone knows
Yeah,
it.
just fun being in the 1950s.
Everyone knows the accent.
Americana,
It is fun to do that.
rockabilly kind
I
of.
like seeing George Lucas's 1950s.
Exactly.
I really- yeah.
Exactly. American graffiti and whatnot.
He's gonna
yeah.
compare it to Ron Howard.
American
Sure.
graffiti, but Wolfman Jackson's an actual Wolfman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
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 That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So and with that, I think that's going to end the episode. So thank you everyone very much for enjoying and watching. Hopefully enjoying watching our test stream of Greasers and Ghoulies, and we will see you next week.
Thanks. Bye.